Okay, got it. Don't do that again. Interrupts the musique. We wouldn't want that. Turning the mic stand. Watch your ears. Also moving it up. Watch your ears again. Okay. That should be good. A little bit of a late start today, but that's okay. We'll just go for a little bit of a late finish as a result of that. We'll just go till 10 after 10, I think. We've been live for 4 minutes already. I can actually look at the stream duration now. I actually pulled that down. I have a little more room. I did some finagling with the Twitch app to see more information. I pressed it a little too late. There we go. I tried to hit it frame perfect. It did not work. Oh look, I said Separate Ways was the title of the last episode, but this one, the chapter itself, is actually called Separate Paths. Fair enough. They couldn't make the Resident Evil 4 reference. I mean, that game had come out and taken the world by storm at the point that this game started its development. It started development back in 2006. Resident Evil 4 at that time was already famous for all of its stuff that it did. Anyway, we'll just wait like a minute. I know I just took a drink, so maybe we don't wait a minute. Maybe we just go. Let's just go. Why not, right? If l'Cie were machines, they would seek to complete any focus without question, but l'Cie are human, and no human willingly desires the slavery imposed by a foul sea. Saz and Vanille support each other in their desperate flight. What is their focus? They are scared to even contemplate the answer to that question. Snow, by contrast, chooses to pursue his objective without hesitation, not because he wants to obey the foul sea, but because it is Sarah's wish. He believes without the slightest shred of doubt that his focus is to protect Cocoon. Lightning and Hope, meanwhile, choose to fight. They turn their anger against an unjust fate and a world hostile to their very existence. On their way to Eden, at the very heart of Cocoon, Lightning and Hope prepare to enter a military-controlled zone. And I'm sure that's going to work out real well for them. So let's find out, shall we? How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIII, the stream edition. Lightning is using her blade as a gun. Last time we finished Chapter 4. Party split into 3 parts, although Snow is kind of in horny jail at the moment, so he can't really contribute. So technically 2 parties. And we're going to alternate between them over the next couple of chapters. So, excuse me.
That'll slow down pursuit.
But did it lock troops on this side? Behind us?
We can't relax just yet.
Can they not unlock it from the outside?
Press on. I'll take point. You watch our backs.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you let me take point?
Can you handle it?
It's not a question of can or can't.
Now you're learning.
Yes, Yoda. Let's get moving.
Keep your eyes front. I'll watch the rear.
Got it.
So they're going to let me play as Hope in this part. Because he's taking point here in the Capra Whitewood. What the hell is a proto-ecology belt anyway? Well, I guess I can venture a guess. Proto-ecology means that they're synthesizing some kind of plant life.
Got your back. You call the shots now.
So it's like that forest in Final Fantasy X, except
Don't be afraid.
More nanotechnology. Everywhere. Just nanotechnology every single where. It's just fantastic. I don't know, I was feeling kind of sluggish earlier today, but I'm feeling kind of okay now that we're coming to this. We'll see if that feeling lasts as we go through the day today. However, I mentioned last time I was going to write some notes for myself. I do actually have notes. I have listed here not only a little more information on how the upgrading process works for weapons and armor, or weapons and accessories, but also important treasures and purchases that I will need to make over the course of the game for the next several chapters, all of which come to a head by the time chapter 11 rolls around. So there's nothing treasure-wise that I need to pick up after chapter 11, so we'll just see how that goes. I might as well do a little shopping, I guess. You'll notice that there's some exclamation points in some of the shops, and that's because new stuff is available in these chapters, so we'll just keep that in mind. There's some antidotes there. I don't know if we need those necessarily, but we'll see. Oh, I can buy tungsten bangles now. That's pretty great, although they start out worse than the starred silver bangles that I have, but I guess I'll keep that in mind. They also don't synthesize physical wall, if I remember correctly. I think they synthesize something else, so probably not as good if you're doing item synthesis, that is. I'm just trying to think, like, by the time I would want to take off the silver bangles, I'm not sure if we're going to need the other ones. Like, we'll probably have access to much better stuff by then, but, you know. Nothing really there. Resist D, protect, and D-shell. I don't care enough about that. As for the stuff that I'm going to sell, I actually am glad. After doing my notes up a little bit, I'm actually glad that I did not have the ability to take Power Circle off and sell it, because even though it's worth 2250 gil at the moment, I actually want to use it, and there's a decent reason why. I'll talk about it later in terms of what Snow's use with Power Circle is, even though he has the fastest casting speed in the game. Normally you would think, okay, well, he has good casting speed, use him as a caster. And yes, that is true, but also I'm thinking in terms of the other roles that he has available to him. So I guess I could just explain it. Because he's a Sentinel, I want him as far away from my party as possible so that the rest of my party doesn't get nicked by AoEs. So I want him, since he's not going to be a player-controlled character most of the time, I want his AI to be encouraged as much as possible to run as far away from the rest of my party as possible, directly into the line of enemies, and engage them from close quarters, and then provoke all of them and sentinel it up right in the middle of the whole group, while the rest of us stand back and cast magic. So that's why I'm actually going to keep Power Circle and sell Wild Bear now, because we won't need Wild Bear at all. Everybody else is in good shape, though. Hope's actually going to get his weapon this chapter, and Vanille's going to get hers next chapter, but Lightning's got hers, Saz has his, and Snow, I'm actually going to keep Power Circle, so he's got his. The rest of this stuff, yeah, I don't know. I don't really think... I'm not going to need the Auric Amulet, so I'm probably going to sell that. I'm also not going to need the Black Belt or the Ember Ring, so I think I'm going to sell both of them. Well, maybe I'll keep the Ember Ring, but I won't need the Black Belt or the Auric Amulet, I don't think, because... Well, I definitely won't need this. I'm just going to get rid of this real quick, because you can upgrade that with some components in order to make it so that it's not just shell when you get to red HP, but also it just gives you shell at the start of the fight, but I've got hope for that. I'll just have him give me shell, you know what I mean? So I don't really need anything else in that department. As for the rest of this stuff, I'm indifferent at the moment on what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I have some notes now, so I can tell you exactly how this stuff works. Instead of using organic materials a few at a time and hoping that it increases the multiplier, in order to get a ×3 multiplier on the upgrade system, you need to just use enough materials, organic materials specifically, to give it 501 or more experience. And in the stupidest thing that they possibly could have done, the experience that increases the multiplier is hidden from the player in every possible way. It's not the experience that you see directly when you do the upgrades. It's actually a hidden experience value that's usually slightly lower than the experience value you see. It's like, can you guys just make this not complicated for once in your damn lives, please? But the point of the matter is that you just want to use enough organic components to get above 501 experience points. That will get you to the ×3 multiplier, and then just burn as much of your synthetic components in one go as possible. So try to have a large number of them, like we have a whole bunch of digital circuits here, so we'd want to burn as many of those as possible when you do the upgrading. Other than that, I don't think I'm really going to bother too much with that for a while. The upgrading isn't really something that I'm particularly, like, in need of at the moment, because we only have one accessory slot, and We aren't even going to be able to upgrade our weapons beyond their first tier until, like, the end of Chapter 11 anyway, so, like, I don't care. It's fine. We can make it work. What the hell were my paradigms anyway? I didn't check before starting this. Oh well. I guess we'll just go. And hope for the best. Okay. I'll just wait while they rapidly take me down. Thank you, Lightning.
Just another battle.
Maybe for you. Don't know if it's life and death for Hope. Might be for him. I mean, how many battles has he really seen, right? Alright, anyway. So those are frag leeches. I don't think those guys have anything particularly interesting about them. I think they're one of the only new enemies in this area, but whatever. Alright, so since I didn't do paradigms before I hit the save point, let's, Oh, okay, I guess the data log and stuff comes back in when you get Lightning back in the party? That's weird. I would think the data log would just be with everybody. But whatever. Okay, so this needs to go up. I think I need another slash and burn. So we'll just stick that there. Thinking I might stick this down here and just make it Sin Med, honestly. And I don't know, I don't feel like I really need much else, honestly. Maybe I could use a Sin Com, or maybe a Med. I'm just gonna stick with this for now, and we'll see if it works out. If it doesn't, then whatever, you know. We have some Crystarium work to do as well, but I'll do it when we get to the next save point. I'm not particularly concerned about it. So. Alright, cool.
Chasing after enemies. It's a surefire way to get it.
To get myself killed? Yeah, you're about right in that department. I keep thinking that I can, like, do 4 hits for some reason. I think the frag leeches are pretty tame, so I'm just gonna go after the Thexteran. I think he's the bigger threat, especially since Lightning is currently tanking the frag leeches for me, which is incredibly gracious of her, to be honest. Blizzard Thunder actually might work a little bit better because it's instantaneous, so let's try that. Not sure if we need this, but it's probably fine. See what I mean, though? Like, we can look there and see that Hope just kind of... When he puts away the boomerang, it just sort of vanishes, you know what I mean? It's like, where did you put that, Hope? Where did it go? You can be honest with me, man. It's okay. Let's see if I can preemptive these guys. Probably not, because they can hear me running up on them, but, you know. Alright, anyway. I'm not going to do the Blizzard Thunder thing that I did before. We'll just alternate a little bit. Actually, what are they weak to? Ice and Thunder, so I should do Blizzard Thunder. Alright. And that's what we'll do. Excuse me. Just get that going, and then we'll switch over to the other slash and burn after this, I think. Maybe we should try the same thing over and over again, since it works so well. See? I'm not even really worried about the ratings, honestly, like, especially now that I know about the components that I can just, like, we can't currently purchase organic components, but we'll be able to change that soon enough, so once we do change that, it'll be a lot easier to get this stuff going.
Have you ever been here before? On duty, I mean.
No, I haven't. This area is covered by the Woodlands Observation Battalion.
You guys have a lot of different divisions that do absolutely nothing outside of one mention.
Not really. I'm ready to fight if I have to.
To keep you safe.
You can fight with a knife. Isn't this yours, though?
I'll want it back.
Okay.
Lightning. I'm glad I followed you. By myself, I would have had no chance.
You weren't by yourself. You were with Saz and Vanille, and you would have ended up running away from Palom Polum. Which probably would have
Time to
been
move.
less effective, but, you know. Doesn't look like there's any treasures, so let's just keep moving. There are 2 treasures that are pretty important for us to pick up here.
Trust me to cover your tail.
Although,
And stay focused on moving forward.
I don't think we've come across either of them just yet. So, what was down there anyway? Like, if I go back... Hold on, Lightning. I just want to go back and see what this area was called. Ecological research.
What are you worried about?
Research corridor, environmental regulation. Nope, that's not the one. First one we need is in the research corridor, second one in environmental regulation. If those are even the correct order, honestly. I know one's in environmental regulation and one's in a research corridor, so that's the ones we'll be looking for. Alright, we got some more components, I guess. That's cool. But let's burn through some of this Crystarium stuff, because we've got over 1,000 CP to burn through at the moment, so let's do that. Was I working on your Synergist to get this? I think I was, in order to get your accessory, so let's just keep working on it. Do I need bar fire at the moment? I mean, I guess it's 130, that's not going to kill me. Let's just go back and get it. And we can grab your accessory right now. So now you've got 2 accessory slots. That's cool. 130, 330. Okay, so we can burn yourself right to here, and then we'll get you a synergy roll level shortly after this, and then that'll be done for a little while. I think this expands after the end of this chapter, but I'm not 100% sure about that. It might not be until the next chapter, because there's quite a lot still to upgrade, and I don't remember these chapters being particularly long, so we'll see. As for you, you had your accessory in here, and I forget if I was even bothering to... I think I was bothering to upgrade this to try to get it, so let's just... Excuse me, try to get it now. Okay. And this is 350. Well, we've got just enough, so we'll just max that out real quick for you. Get that done. And then we can go from there for the rest. Alright, cool. That'll take care of that. I don't think I'm going to bother with upgrading weapons at the moment. I think it's... I might increase the Blaze Fire Saber up to like level 5 or something eventually, but I don't think that's particularly necessary at the moment. I feel like the enemies are pretty simple at the moment. Nothing too complicated to take care of, you know?
Just block out everything else.
That is not the way you do this, Hope, but I guess if you keep your head clear, it'll, you know, keep you from having any problems, I suppose. Or more problems. You say, Lightning, whenever you're ready. Probably should have started on that lower slash and burn personally, because I usually find that a little bit easier to mess around with. Ow. Quit it. Bad dog. Thank you, Light. Well, we're still managing to eke out these 5 stars, so that's not terrible. I figure because we upgraded the... Oh, okay, almost got a preemptive there. I figure because we upgraded the Blaze Fire Saber, we might actually be a little bit behind in terms of, like, applies powerful fire-based attacks, but fires normal. Okay. But yeah, it's very possible that because we upgraded the Blaze Fire Saber to level 3, the target times are going to be a little bit worse for us. Just because... so, like, we won't make it for some of the target times, just because of the fact that we have an upgraded weapon here. So. I think I'll need all 3, actually. Yeah, and that's fine. Like I said, I'm not really particularly... And I mean, we got 3 gummy oil out of that, even with a 4-star ranking, so it's like, whatever, you know. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, it's fine, you know. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Which way you guys going? This way. Preemptive strike. I should probably hit up the Thexterans first. Just because they're the weaker of the targets, I think. And then the next Thexteran. Yeah, do it before we lose the thing. Damn it. Hope, why did you spend 16 years charging that up? We need to stabilize the gauge, not lose it. Okay, anyway. Oh, look, she skipped her little animation there. That's cool. I don't really know what the timing is for that, but there is a timing to that where you can skip the animation if you time it correctly, where they do the first switch, and then she'll just instantly start attacking immediately after you switch. So, but I don't know what the timing is on that, so unfortunately that's going to make it a little tougher.
The military uses this place for bioweapons research. Lots of angry teeth and claws.
What is the purpose of that exactly? Like, how could they use this place for military research when there's nothing here for them to kill except other military items? Like, all of the robots will just kill all of the leeches and the other stuff. So, like, what's the... I guess if they're testing against each other, but, like, you know Pulse isn't going to have that kind of shit at their hands. Whatever that other guy's all about over there. I guess we'll disrupt him later. Because he just disrupted me from the impression that I just got there. A Vespid. Don't have any info on him for the moment, that's fine. Keep building him up. See if we can dual cast our way up the chain a little better. Flurry of fire. Okay, back to slash and burn. For the very end. Is it necessary? No, probably not. But we got him. And we got the 5-star anyway. I'll take it. Hey, he even dropped an Aegisol for me. That's the one I've been looking for.
Study your enemy's actions. That'll help you form a strategy.
I could be using Libra, I suppose. Should I? Probably. Am I? No, definitely not. We'll learn just through doing, anyway. Let's see, I can switch between them. So, we know that you just take normal from normal stuff from your from our magical attacks, so we'll just keep that in mind. Get rid of the Thexterans first. The Vespid didn't really seem to do... It was kind of a placid Vespid, you know? So we'll just let him be a placid Vespid, and then keep killing the things that are a little bit more of an instantaneous threat to me. Oh, thank you. That was really nice of you. I don't think I need symbiosis yet. I think we'll be okay. So. I might toss a potion when we switch here again. I don't actually know if dual casting is worth it at the moment. I don't know if the gauge is stable enough. I suppose there's only one way to find out, isn't there? No, it's stable enough. We're fine. I don't even think I'll need the potion, honestly. Swap back for more damage. And goodbye.
Be ready for the next fight.
See, like, that's the thing, is you're kind of doing very similar things in each battle, but they keep it interesting by switching up the enemies that you're fighting, which I think makes things a little bit more effective in terms of keeping the player engaged. Is it the most engaging battle system? I don't think so necessarily, but I don't think it's bad. Let's see. Now there's one that's looking right at me there. That one in the middle. So let's see which way they turn here, and that'll determine what we do. I don't think they can see me pretty far out, though. So Where the hell are you going, big guy? Glitching into the floor or something. Got it. Just had to pull the old sneakaroo. Not the old switcheroo, that's Saz's thing, but... Alright, go, go. Whenever you're ready, Lightning, give him a blitz. Don't know why I just did that out in reverse, but whatever, it's fine. I was gonna say, I think she's got this one. So we'll just let her get this one. And that preemptive strike bonus really helps with getting the 5-star, I'll tell you what. That 1.2 times bonus, it might seem like it's not a ton, but it's pretty impressive how much of a difference it makes. We can probably take a behemoth, right? I might have to synergist it, but... yeah, maybe not with a preemptive strike, we'll see.
We can't lose here.
It's an alpha anyway, so I think we'll be okay. Ow. Anyway, charging power. We'll switch after this. Lightning whenever you're ready. Lightning whenever you're ready. Not gonna have the ability to switch here. There we go. Now we switch. Okay, we got it. I wasn't sure. I was like, the gauge is going down pretty quick. We might not have this one, but we had this one, so. Lightning was being as sluggish as I felt earlier today there. That's fine. It all worked out in the end. With a preemptive strike. To be clear, that was the reason, because we got a preemptive strike. It would not have worked out otherwise. So I guess we gotta go underneath the plants here.
What is it?
We need to hide.
Good instincts, Hope. I don't know how Lightning didn't notice
Seem
that.
like they're even looking for us. I mean, we're Lassie and we're on the loose.
Yeah, but did they really think we'd be here?
SciComm's keeping it all under wraps. They don't want their failure publicized. Better to lose us than lose their pride.
So the other soldiers don't know about us, right?
Right. They don't know anything about any fugitives.
I don't know why you specifically exacerbated anything there.
Over here.
Or rather, not exacerbated, but emphasized. That's the word I'm looking for.
Time to move.
My mom used to do that all the time. She would just say words that come into her head, even if they wouldn't be the correct word. And I think it messed me up in the head for a good while. I still haven't shook that because, like, sometimes I'll just say words that come into my head, and I'm like, this is the word for that situation, right? And then I'm like, no, I don't think it is, actually.
Of what's happening around you.
So. Alright, well, we got a little bit of extra stuff here. Antidotes, I guess we can categorize that. Put that stuff there. And, well, we got one more CP as well, since we're working our way up. This is the research corridor that I was talking about, right? Yeah, okay. So Hope's weapon is actually here in this area. So, did I finish this for you? No, not yet. Let's do that. Excuse me. Okay, so now he's a level 2 synergist. So what this does is it's not the same as the stage of the Crystarium that you're in. You're in stage 3 of the Crystarium at the moment. The Crystarium goes up to stage 10. The roll level increases the passive bonus that you get from being a synergist, which means that every roll level that you get as a synergist with Hope, that's the longer that your buffs will last when he applies them. So that's what that does. I still think that's pretty confusing, to be honest, but whatever. I didn't make the game, so I can't really say one way or the other. I was working on this too, I guess, because this is down below. Okay, so I guess we'll just go work on Ravager then, since I was working on it at a certain point here. Alright, this is 130, so we can keep going. Can't get water yet, but that's fine. Looks like there's 5 elements. We got fire, blizzard, thunder, water, and arrow. So that's cool. Meanwhile, in Lightning's grid, we already finished that off for you, so where were we? This is at the bottom, and this is not at the bottom. I have not gotten launch yet. We should probably grab that. Looks like I can get a strength +8, so I'll just grab that real quick. And then we've got Ravage. Bolster, Blitzer, Ruin Gut, Head of Attack Q, and Ravager is present. That's right, okay. So we'll do that, and we'll get her roll level. And then I guess we'll also get her roll level for Ravager once we're done with this, because it looks like that's mostly just passives, right? Well, it's fire, so I guess it's not entirely passives. She can't cast fire yet. That's funny. Reminds me of, like, Rydia, although I don't think Lightning has the kind of mental block to cast fire that Rydia did, to be fair. So, sorry, I think I'm yawning a little bit more because my dinner included breaded food, and breading, that's like sleepy mode for me. It's like, no, my body's ready for shutdown now. I don't know if I'm gonna make it before these guys turn around. Never mind, it's fine. We made it.
It's all or nothing.
Boy, I wish I had 2 blitzes, because that would make fighting these things a lot easier. Just spam blitz. Oh, right, I have Fyra. So having Fyra will let Hope multi-stun the enemies, which is probably pretty useful. Like that. Was it worth it to get the second accessory slot before getting Fyra? No, probably not, honestly. But, you know, it's there. Speaking of which, we have the second accessory slot for both of them now, don't we? We do. So, what do I want to stick here? So definitely Magician's Mark for you, because the extra magic will help you, especially since all of Hope's attacks are magic anyway. He doesn't have access to the attack command at all unless you develop his commando way later in the game. So all of his, and he doesn't get any of the strike skills that Lightning has, so all of his stuff is magic. As for Lightning herself, I'd probably stick Black Belt there just for now. It seems like it'd be pretty fine. Like, it's not too out of the way. So, since that's the case, we got another alpha. I wonder if he's guarding Hope's weapon. Maybe that's his weapon right over there by those Vespids. Where are you going, big guy?
Get reckless.
Don't get reckless. Do you mean use Deceptisol? Would that be the easiest way to do this? Or would it be easier for me to start? Because it doesn't look like he's going to turn around. So would it be easier for me to start in, like... This is probably where you want to Sin Calm, right? So let's start there. Maybe cast Protect on both. I don't know. Figure it out. He knows I'm here, though. Where you going, big guy? Definitely protect. Yeah, do that. Help real quick. Give that to Lightning so she can stabilize the gauge a little bit just by existing at the moment. And then we slash and burn. I'm just going to click auto chain to make sure it does some stuff real quick, and then I'll do more later. After this, I think we go to dual casting.
How about this, Light?
See if we can make it in time. I don't know if we will. We'll try, though. I don't actually know how much damage this charging power thing that he's doing is going to do, but... I mean, we're making it pretty good, all things considered. Maybe it'd be better if I had a second dual casting for this specific fight. I wonder if a Fyra actually works a little bit better to, like, stagger him. I mean, that did pretty good. Just throw it, hope it's fine. Do the best we can with that. Alright, there we go. So whatever he was charging, we can't do anymore, and now Lightning can launch him.
Just another battle.
It worked pretty good, actually. It was only a 4-star, but it worked pretty good. So I gotta remember that incorporating Fyra in... Actually, I don't know if incorporating Fyra into that was better for the stagger gauge or not, to be honest. That being said, since I just swapped that up, it might be better now to do this and make another dual casting right here, just in case I need to switch that up. And I'll stick to slash and burn here. I'll just come back and switch over to Super Soldier if we see any more of those guys. And they won't let me preemptive strike them specifically. Because preemptive strikes make those fights pretty easy, to be honest. Nah, that Fyra doesn't have the kind of AoE I was hoping it would. That's okay. I would say, Lightning, whenever you want to stabilize that bad boy. I'm actually not sure if We even need to stagger these guys, to be honest. Slash and burn, actually. 'Cause then we can finish this guy off, and then we can start on this guy. I don't think we need medic. I think we'll be okay. If I see Flurry of Fire, I'll know we're in danger. But it's fine for now, I think. Oh, okay, I guess that's fine. We'll just stick with this and finish him up. I went all the way up. I didn't need to go all the way up. Alright. So, let's see what's in here. This is the weapon I was looking for. Perfect. The Hawkeye. Why is this such a good weapon? Well, let's take a look at it. So we've got the Ninurta at the moment. It synthesizes physical wall. However, the Hawkeye, it synthesizes magical wall, and at the moment it's not incredibly better than the Ninurta, but it has a far larger amount of magic that it gets when you synthesize it and upgrade it than what you will get out of Ninurta, so I personally find it pretty useful. I'm also not sure about this Magician's Mark, to be honest. I feel like it's making it harder for me to get the 5-star if I leave it on, so maybe I'll take it off. And we'll see how it works like that. But that's one of the treasures that we were looking for. There's one more that we need, and it's not until a different section of the area. So we'll work our way there. I don't feel like we need to fight Thexteran times 2 again, guys. I feel like we've done this already. Oh, wait, hang on. Probably should actually slash and burn so I can get the extra chain here. I'm just gonna do 2. Yeah, because he's done real quick, so. Excuse me. But now that we have Hope's weapon that I'm going to use for the rest of the playthrough, it might be worth my while, actually, to, okay, 2 and a Vespid that's coming directly towards me. Maybe a preemptive would be better here. If we get it, cool. If we don't, oh, we got it. Alright, good. I stayed out of his vision, his line of sight. But yeah, now that we have Hope's weapon, it might be worth it to, whatchamacallit, upgrade his, Nah, I dropped the chain. That's okay. To upgrade it a little bit so that way, instead of using the Magician's Mark, we can just use that. So. Kind of a funky looking weapon though, isn't it? Really bizarre, out of all things. Oh, she skipped her little animation there again. As a result of my meddling. That's good. We can probably just finish him with this, can't we? Yeah. So get used to seeing neon pink and purple for Hope for the rest of the game, at least until it upgrades, if we get to the tier 2 upgrades. I don't even know about those, to be honest, because, like, if we're not going to fully upgrade the first tier of weapon until... maybe I should... Okay, never mind. I was going to say maybe I should leave, but I was in the middle of the menu, so... I guess I'm not going to leave. I feel like this is going to be problematic. Maybe I should have used like a Fortisol at the very least to make this a little bit easier. Definitely gonna swap over after this though.
Maybe we should try something else.
Get Protect up on it myself. Cause good lord, man.
Would this work better, Light?
Do we need anything else? No, I don't think so. Alright. Off we go. Again. I don't think I need Fire either, to be honest. I'll just keep Blizzard and Thunders, that's fine. Gonna go back to Symbiosis after this, though. Lightning? Lightning? Yeah, there you go. Whenever you're ready. Shell, I guess. I don't think this attack is shell related, but I guess if it gives us a little bit of extra protection against whatever this monstrosity is about to do to me, then fair enough. Ow. You having fun there, big guy? Let me switch, actually. Do this, and then we'll go to dual casting after we get this thing going. Extermination mode. I don't know what that does. Guess we're gonna find out. Ow. I guess that's what that does. Alright, get this off, then I think I'll potion. No, I don't think I need it, actually. If he's just gonna heave lightning, that's fine.
How about this, Light?
Of course, if we keep standing directly next to each other... Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, he's gonna end up heaving the both of us. Whenever you're ready, Lightning. There you go. No, you could do it. I had faith. Okay, he's dead. And no Sauls either, but 3 stars, so that's... 210 is the target time for that? Really? Jesus. There's like Toothax Sterins and an Alpha. What do you expect me to do? I don't have AoE or any of that shit. Maybe they were expecting me to just quickly react and run away and then Deceptisol or something. I don't know. Whatever. Not like gonna get all up in arms about, oh, I didn't get 5 stars, we gotta retry. No, that's not a thing.
Gotta be stronger.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean taking on gigantic threats by yourself, man. Like, even just you and Lightning doing that last fight, probably a bit of a problem.
Saz and Vanille? Who knows? Even if they got away, they'll get caught eventually. Then they'll have to choose.
We get caught eventually?
Resist or surrender.
Okay, well, I guess we know what we're doing if that happens.
Surrender. Huh. Do you think he's still alive?
Not even gonna say his name anymore?
He's too stubborn to die. And that's his best quality. He's arrogant and chummy from the get-go. He thinks he's everybody's pal. Never liked him much.
If he dies, I'll kill him.
Gang called Nora.
Where'd they get the name Nora?
It's a stupid acronym. Their little code stands for no obligations, rules, or authority.
So you're telling me Snow is basically Cypher from Final Fantasy VIII, except he's a good guy. What the hell? So what was the point of that gate exactly? I know why Hope's getting all upset about that, but I can't say why just yet. It's kind of stupid, if I'm being honest, but we'll get to it. Anyway, more Crystarium development. Where was I? I think I was on Ravager. Yeah, because we finished Synergist, so keep it moving. Excuse me. What do we get out of Fierce Siphon? We can get it at 130, so you can even get the next thing here. Get your +3 strength that does nothing, Hope. That's a fantastic investment. Like, I still don't understand. Like, why even give him any strength if he's not going to have any strength anything anywhere except for his commando role? Like, just stick all the strength upgrades in there and just make them gigantic, you know what I mean? If he's not going to use strength anywhere else, might as well. I think I was working on this for you. So you've got, these are all 220s. So you can go 2 more here. What's Ravager for you look like? Is it 130 for these at least? No, these are 220 as well. Good lord, Lightning. What you doing with all this extra upgrade? Making me invest more. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, and then she's done with Commando, so that's cool. And then we can keep going. Do I want to upgrade now since I've got the... I do want to sell the Inerta now that I've got that, so I suppose there's that. Maybe I'll sell the Magician's Mark as well, because I don't really anticipate myself using it. I don't want to dismantle, actually. I would like to... Oh, and you can upgrade the Black Belt as well, and it'll upgrade up to, I think, 20% physical resistance, which is not bad at all, considering you don't need a an item to upgrade it to get it any further than that. And resist physical is kind of nice because, like, it's a percentage, so it will be relevant all the way through the game. You know what I mean? It's not a flat bonus where it drops off later on. It's just like a percent. It gives you a little bit all the way through. So it can be pretty useful. Should I upgrade Snow's weapon from here? I don't think that's gonna work. What are the good ones again here? Let's see. I don't think we have any of the good ones for now. No, we don't. That's okay. 6, 7. I'm trying to think if it might be better to just, like, sell a few of these, or is this the good stuff right here? This is the good stuff right here. Okay, so Vibrant Ooze actually has a pretty good bonus. I believe it's it gives 19 experience per ooze, but I think if I remember correctly, the hidden value on it is plus 14 for the multiplier, and if you get that plus 14 is where the 501 or more experience comes from. So if you get that up above 501, then the multiplier is high enough. So maybe I'll hold on to that. Is Fragrant Oil the other one? No, it's not. Okay, so maybe I'll hold on to the ooze for, like, actual, like, when I'm actually planning on doing anything with stuff, because then the more of that I hold on to, the less I have to buy later. So let's get rid of the other stuff first. Okay, we're up to the 1.25 times. There's 1.5 times. And, I guess we'll do that. And that'll get us 1.75 times, and then we do... How much of that do I have? 3? That won't quite get us there. That might get us to level 3. Yeah, it will. Okay, cool. But yeah, see how much of a difference the magic makes there for Hope? It gives him, it looks like, let's see, that's 12, 14 magic for 2 levels, so it's plus 7 with every level. That's pretty impressive. Like, for reference, Lightning's getting like 2 or 3 out of each upgrade to her Blazefire Saber, so it's pretty good. Alright, yeah, I don't think I'm going to upgrade Snow stuff until he's actually back in the party, even though I have the Power Circle available for him. But as you can see, the upgrades for it are a little bit more on the expensive side. So we probably won't need to bother with that for a little while, I don't think. Alright, and then sell the Inerta. And I think that's about it, honestly. Like, I feel like the rest we're kind of okay with. I don't think I'll need to use Fortisol or Aegisol outside of, like... It's probably going to be like Elixirs and other Final Fantasies, right? Where I hold on to them until I feel like I need them for later, like chapter bosses or something, and then it's just, like, too late. So... Alright, well, we bought the Inerta, but we don't need it anymore, so let's get rid of it. Be the same thing for the Pearl Wing Staff, although we did not buy that one. So I'm going to get rid of this, because we can always buy some more of those later on if I really need them. I don't anticipate me needing them, but there you go. And yeah, the ooze is worth 40 gil, so usually the ones that you can buy in shops are worth 80 gil. So there you go. Okay, well anyway, that takes care of that, so let's save, and then we can move to the next section. And if the next section is environmental regulation, that's where the second and final important treasure is in this area. So let's go have a look, shall we? I don't remember if you play as Hope for the entirety of this chapter. Bioweapon Research Site D, that is not environmental regulation. I don't remember if you play as him for the entirety of this chapter, or if you go back to Lightning after a while.
There are a lot of feral creatures here too. They're a little different from the military. This is an army facility for turning wildlife into weapons.
Uh-huh.
Civilians aren't allowed in here. are they?
Most likely not, no. They'd probably
We'll have to
get
be
killed.
Sure and tell them if we see any.
Yeah, because I don't know how the hell they lived through this. Alright, so wildlife auto-containment paddocks. These open-air pens designed to restrain experimental bioweapons are equipped with electromagnetic containment fences linked to a site-wide biorhythmic monitoring system. Gesundheit. Fences deactivate automatically when biorhythms for known high-risk species are no longer detected in their proximity. Okay, so when these guys are... Basically what they're saying is the force field will only go down when you kill the enemies in the area. So we can't get through this research site until we kill these big guys, who somehow didn't hear me coming despite being basically wild wolves. It's a silver lobo. It is a wild wolf. Have some fire, big guy. Yeah, now that we have launch, we can kind of sort of do this, where lightning can kind of keep them staggered in the air if they're launchable. By basically, like, we stagger them, lightning launches them, and then we can stagger our attacks so that lightning finishes up with hers, and then I start with Hope's, so that way the enemy stays staggered in the air.
Take care of our pen mates. They should power down.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna guess these Lobos aren't gonna turn around for me though, now are they? Maybe I can sneak around. Never mind. Where you going, son? Think you can escape from me and my boomerang? Okay, fire.
Holding back.
Spam fire! I guess it makes sense. Silver Lobos are usually found in like icy areas in other Final Fantasies, so makes sense to me anyway.
This work better, light?
I think that's stable enough, so let's just dual cast it up, get some extra damage off.
How about this, light?
I think we're doing okay. I don't think we'll need a whatchamacallit. I don't think we'll need a heal. Even if he keeps attacking me, I think we'll be okay. Actually, the fires should be enough to finish him off, so. Virulent Breath is probably the poison, isn't it? So that's where you might want an antidote, but from what I understand, all status ailments are healed at the end of battle anyway, so I don't really see much of a purpose to it, I guess. Oh, I turned around. Well, there goes that. Now we just gotta take care of the other ones. Man. They, aren't pulling their punches with these things, are they? It's okay. I'm not pulling my punches either, to be fair. Let's see if we can preemptive and then Fyra them and maybe get, like, something out of this. Stagger all of them. There we go. Perfect. Alright, you just, you keep that up, Lightning. See if I can hit him on the way down. There we go. That works. Hit the ones on the ground as well while we're at it. This is probably not going to work out, though. I'm probably, like, spreading myself too thin here. It's going to make this harder on me. Yeah, because, see, they're still all alive. That's fine. Envenomate. And next one. Should be able to take him out with all three of these fires and maybe one more attack. Yeah. It's okay, Lightning. You just keep on keeping on with that. The poison doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, so I'll take it. I can even be worse than I normally am when I get a preemptive strike and still get a good ranking. Sleepy puppies. They weren't sleeping for very long. I guess I could Fyra here. I feel like Fyra would almost work better in this situation when they're close together, rather than when they're not. See how they jump back towards each other, because now I can hit both of them with it. Maybe. I don't actually know if that hit the other one. I don't know, if I find that AoE in this game is only, like, helpful if you can use it for, like, staggering the enemies at the same time, you know what I mean? So like there's spells that you'll get later on in the game that actually they'll explode and they'll cause the enemies to fly up in the air, like us getting heaved by that behemoth. And that, I find that a little bit more useful in terms of the higher level spells. I usually just go for the regular single target low level spells before that. So, hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Good evening. Don't have enough healing items and you're not good enough to beat the final boss in Tevi, so you're going back to farm for materials and fight the pre-final boss again. Well, as long as that helps you get all the things you need to beat the final boss, I say go for it. It sounds tedious, but if you can't beat it otherwise, I would say that's probably your best bet. Alright, so we'll just keep going. We're in the Environmental Regulation Pens in the Gapra Whitewood, Chapter 5. Trying to beat all these things up. Now they got leeches. These things can't see very far anyway, though, so... Excuse me, I should be able to, as soon as they turn their backs, just schlorp myself right in here. Oh, never mind. Did you enjoy the screen pollution of the video that you sent me and Cole? There was a lot going on in that one, yeah. Okay, that's the middle guy. Yeah, I don't know, I just can't do the same sort of stuff that I can do in other Final Fantasies, where like you can kind of just throw a projectile in the middle of the enemy in the center of the battlefield and get the best results out of your AoE. Here, it's like, if you do that, you're not really staggering them particularly well, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't envy you that, all those fights there, Marie, because I don't know if I could do those. It's funny because you'd think the train to kill variety would be more unpredictable. They made it stupidly hard to do that on purpose, I assume. Yeah, you're probably right on that, honestly. Alright, stagger the whole lot of them. And that's it. Nice and easy. So that's what happens when you've got the ability to stagger in an area. So I guess the way that I normally play the game works best when I get a preemptive strike. Who'd have thunk it? Everything works better on a preemptive strike. Don't push that guy out of the way. He's the one that I need to hit up on his back for the preemptive. Oh, okay. Maybe I go back. Maybe we go back. Let's go back. Reset. It's rewind time. Maybe. I wish I could see. This thing's gonna see me if I don't get back up here. So, okay, so that's the Silver Lobo, the dot on the mini-map that's moving the most. So let's just wait for him to turn his back. And then off we go. Alright, so definitely not you first, because you're not even in the group here. So just get these guys first. Do it again. Yeah, I was gonna say, just throw the fireballs, we'll be fine. Actually, no, do both of them this time. Why don't you just stabilize it a little bit there, Lightning, and then we can switch over to dual casting and finish his bar. I really need to get you fire so you can deal more damage to these guys, but oh well, that's fine. We made it work.
No problem.
I have no idea how the fuck you do better against the pre-final boss, but Tevi is definitely a JRPG protag. We're fighting something akin to God for the final boss. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to escape from that trope now, isn't it? Like, once you start fighting God in JRPGs, it's kind of hard to not fight God, because then it's like, well, the stakes don't feel as high, you know what I mean? So, no item in this little alcove? Alright, fair enough. Well, we've been locked in this time.
Caged in like the animals.
Fun. Speaking of animals, here's one of them. And we can't get a preemptive strike on this one. Start to gauge out a little ow. And then we'll establish protect since, there we go. Since I know for a fact that this guy's gonna need it. Double up. I don't actually think Fyra is the best idea here. So, instead, just give him the regular big 3. This one staggers a little bit easier, I think. Yeah, let's just go to dual casting now. I'll throw a potion if I need to in a minute. I might not need to, because in a second, lightning's gonna do that to him.
Maybe we should try something else.
Go ahead, lightning, throw him up in the air. There you go. Stay up there. I love launch staggering enemies and just keeping them in the air at the same time. It's so much fun. I'm like a little pyromaniac about it. Alright, I'll wait. See? Do it again. I don't know if we're gonna make it. We might not. Yeah, just about. It's fine. We'll make it here. See? Nothing left. No problem. Just barely eked out the 5-star, but it's fine. Look, fighting the Origin of Life would be cool if it weren't God. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fair,
The
too.
observation battalion will be coming.
Let him come.
We can kill them! Because I have no chill. They will only feed into my hatred for Snowvilliers. I don't know. I feel like Hope is taking the wrong lessons from this whole thing that him and Lightning are going on, this whole excursion. She's not exactly, like, helping him work through it now, is she? But then again, she's also got problems with Snow, so that's probably part of the problem anyway. It's like, well, how do you help him work through it when you also hate the guy? Oh, what the hell is this? I mean, Fyra spam is what this is, but, you know. Just toss one right in the middle of these 10 or so crawlers. Crawler H, huh? Crawler J, it is 10. I wasn't sure. Pretty good with that boomerang for not being, whatchamacallit there, Hope. A commando. There we go. Kind of try to toss this in to as many of them as possible so we get as many of them as we can before we have to slash and burn. And there we go. Is it bad that you found a grind spot on Redacted that wasn't the super popular one because your people couldn't fight the popular mobs? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. It kind of gives you something that's relatively unique, you know what I mean? That way it's like, no, I found something that's wholly individual to me. Yeah, we got a 5-star on those 10 crawlers. Good work.
Take 5.
You gonna be okay there, Hope? You're looking just a bit winded. Can we afford to take 5? Didn't they just say the soldiers will be coming?
What's eating you?
The same thing that's always eating
Okay,
him.
I can tell you're hung up on something. Is it the Lassie thing?
No, it's his mom's death. It's the only thing, Lightning. It's always that.
It's Snow, isn't it? What happened with him?
You wouldn't understand.
Try me. He's kind of been a jackass to my family, too. At least from Lightning's perspective.
You and I are partners, Hope.
You might want to give him more than 5.
Mother was killed.
He looks a little more winded. To be fair, he tried to save her. He also asked if she was sure. And she decided to make the very poor decision to go onto the front lines despite having a child. I feel like you're placing the blame in the wrong place there, big guy.
He needs to pay for it.
I mean, I'm all for blaming Snow for
Not
being
ready yet.
heroic
But
to
I
a
will
fault,
be.
but
Soon. That's why I followed you.
Lightning, I don't think you're going to want that knife back now. He stuck it in his absolute storage space with
Snow
his
dragged us all into this.
boomerang.
You and me, your sister Sarah. He's gotta pay.
Do we ever find out why Sarah went into the Pulse Fal'Cie to begin with? Because, like, he didn't drag Sarah into this, right? Like, Sarah went in there
Gotta be
herself
stronger.
I'll take the lead.
because he didn't know. I've got to be stronger, he says, and then Lightning's like, nah, it's fine, I got this now. You've spent long enough without 4 ATB bars, player. Let's go back to Lightning instead. Excuse me. Alright, did it delete all my paradigms? No, it didn't. It just stuck me in the top one. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. Let's keep moving then. Still looking for that one item.
Just have to face your fear.
That's the idea, Hope. Field Trail Range S. Okay, this is not the way that I'm looking for either. But we'll get there. I don't really need that item particularly soon. It's not going to be really good until I'm able to get access to an upgrade item called Perovskite anyway, if I remember correctly. Let me see here. Is it Perovskite? Yes, it is. We need Perovskite in order to upgrade it. And Perovskite is probably not going to be available until later. I don't think we get our first one until... Is it in Chapter 11? Sorry, just looking at my notes. Yeah, there's 2 available in Chapter 11, so I mean, if we don't get it, I'm not really worried about it. We can buy it before we can actually upgrade it anyway, but I'd like to have it so that way we're in good shape there. Speaking of good shape, we've got a lot of CP, so let's burn right through it, shall we? You were finishing this off, I think. Yeah, we can get Ravage now. So let's go grab that, and then I think we can finish this and get the roll level. Yeah, cool. So now we did Medic already, so let's work on Ravager. Let's see. These are all 220s, so just the one for now, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 220 is like 1540, I think, CP-wise for you. And then you're done. We might get there by the end of the chapter. I don't know how much longer this one is, but it can't be that much longer if that's all we need, you know what I mean? So, I was working on this for you, so let's just keep working on it. Might be able to finish it off. What do we got here? Quake. Earth damage targets in a wide radius and extend their chain bonus. So actually, Quake is not a spell, it's a technique, so it uses TP in order to use it. It can be useful if you get a preemptive strike in order to stagger every enemy on the field for you. So I may use it at some point. I feel like it falls off later, but I may use it at some point, so just buy it for now, because why not? Alright, how much is this roll level? 330, we can get that. Cool. Alright, so you're a level 2 Ravager and Synergist now, so that's awesome. Medic just has a bunch of 130s. 260, 390, so this is 650. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 330. So it would be 1300, so you need about 1500 in order to finish this off. So if we get about 1500 CP total for you two, I think we'll be in good shape. So that's what we'll look for. Not really Sarah. He didn't make her a l'Cie, right? Yeah, no. Sarah was a l'Cie beforehand because, as we saw in the Day 7 flashback, Sarah was branded before she told Snow. So,
I'll never pull this off if I don't toughen up.
yeah, he didn't have anything to do with that one. Hope, where are you going? You heading for the objective marker past all the enemies? Guess so. Ooh, okay. All right, pup. Slow your roll. I feel like a double blitz wouldn't hurt me, especially if they get into a group like this. So just get a little AoE damage off, and then they can whiff. That's pretty nice. All right, if you guys are gonna separate, then I'll do that with you. All right, we get the thing back, so let's just chain it up. We don't have the thing yet, so... Back to slash and burn. Stabilize that gauge. Okay, I was kind of hoping that would be enough, but it's fine. We got him. Yeah, she only shoots on the last hit after she gets 4 gauges. Yeah, until then she doesn't take the shot on the last hit. But now that she's got 4 gauge, she can take a shot on the last hit. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of it, honestly. I feel like it's a lot slower, which, not really my cup of tea if it's a lot slower, you know. Why am I doing 4 attacks? The guys are stuck together. Okay, well, whatever. I wonder if the other guy's gonna get, lose his stagger gauge, yeah, as a result of me doing that. That's okay. I figured because I was, whatchamacallit, on, I had the full bar, I had to auto battle in order to not lose it out, but, oh well. You would be correct. That's why your leader used to be someone else when you played. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like, you could just, if you're having Lightning play as the AI, you could always encourage her to use magic a little bit more by giving her items that boost her magic. That's not one of them. I was kind of hoping it was going to be the, I think she gets a weapon, if I remember correctly, in this chapter. I don't think I can get up there from here, but I'm not 100% sure where the weapon is. But the weapon that you get for her in this chapter, if I remember right, is her magically oriented weapon. And if you equip that, I think it's called the Edged Carbine, if I remember right. If you equip it, it has a higher magic bonus than a physical bonus. So my impression of the battle system previously is that when your AI partners have higher magic than strength, it encourages them to use their magical attacks rather than their strength attacks. So we'll be working with that because there's a couple of people who I'd rather have them use physical attacks than magical attacks, and vice versa. So we'll try to work with that as best we can. Will it work out? I don't know, but we'll see. Oh, a star pendant, that's what we got. That's the anti-poison one, right? Yeah. I guess it's 30%, it's not terrible, but poison, I don't know, it doesn't really do a whole lot, at least not yet. Maybe later it'll do more, but you know. You broke a later boss. Your manual skill inputs had Lightning move in a funny way the one time you did use her as a leader for the boss. She was safe in a corner while everyone else just got nuked by the boss's ultimate. That's pretty funny. Actually, I might know the boss that you're talking about. Was it the one from Chapter 9? Because if you fight that guy in a certain way, you can have Lightning be on the side of the battlefield while everybody else is in the middle. So I might try to demonstrate that when we do it. Boy, that was easy. Staples button.
Could I use one of those?
You kind of need special training for a gunblade, big guy.
Okay.
I think he needs special training for a survival knife as well, Lightning, to be fair. He can't exactly throw that like a boomerang. Speaking of which, doesn't he need special training for his boomerang too? Like, I feel like that'd be kind of hard for a kid to use, but we don't get to find out because flashback, day 12. What's with the spread?
You became a lessee, so now you're gonna marry this idiot? And you think I'm gonna buy that? Full points for originality.
Take the bandage off, then she'll buy it.
If you really are a lessee, it's my job to deal with you.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say to your sister.
This is ridiculous. Worst birthday ever.
You're being an asshole. Stop it.
Wait, Sarah!
Like, that seems so out of character for her.
You believe her?
You kidding me? She gets made a lessee and you pop the question?
Lightning, stop it!
No, you stop it! Get out of my house.
You're shutting her out. She's your sister.
Yeah, this is the impression that I get is that it's happened before, honestly. Just from the way that this is, but I don't know.
I'll do it. I'll protect her.
She's probably trying to protect her here because if Lightning didn't know that, she wouldn't be able to deal with it, right? Yeah, Lightning, stop being a bitch. Yes, that's the one. It was hilarious. There you go. Did they wait 5 fucking days to break the news to Lightning? Yes, they did. Because they found out day 7 and they did not tell her until her birthday. Why? Why not tell her right away? Like, was she not off yet from the Corps? She was off on the 11th day. See, like, and it seems weird, right? That she gave this to Hope after Sarah gave this to her, because you'd think she'd hold on to it and be like, no, I gotta remember Sarah by this.
Late last night, officials confirmed the presence of a pulse fal'Cie inside the city of Bodum. Acting with fal'Cie Eden's approval, authorities declared a state of emergency. The entire district will be quarantined in response to this crisis.
They did show her.
This is a Sanctum Bulletin.
And she didn't believe them when the fucking tattoo glowed? Like, that's not exactly a trick that you can just do. And also, what do you mean you didn't know that was a pulse fal'Cie? It's a 300-foot tall monolith in the middle of the artificial ocean. What? Nothing makes any fucking sense. Oh, this is adding more and more fuel to the fire. There's this theory out there that when they designed Final Fantasy XIII, they kind of just had a whole bunch of ideas and hodgepodged all of them together and ended up with this mess of a plot. And honestly, in some cases, I believe that theory. Like, in this particular case, it's like, that whole scene was bizarre, wasn't it? Yeah, and she had the bandage on before that in the cutscene, so, like, did they put it back on? Why did they put it back on? What The cutscene magic took away her bandage to help her realize that. I guess so. I ain't got nothing else to explain that. What the hell is wrong with that Lobo? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. Nothing. It was just a trick of the light. Alright, all of y'all come over here so I can blitz the shit out of you. Thank you. And that should allow us to take care of most of the crawlers pretty easily. Especially if everything sticks together like this. Next slash and burn. Stabilize the gauge. Get breathed on. I don't know, I feel like slash and burn will just take care of both of these, honestly. So. We probably could get him all the way up there with dual casting, but I don't have whatchamacallit yet, so fire, so I can't exactly put him up there as quickly. Just hang on, Hope. I'll revive you in a minute when I can take my finger off the trigger. There. Envenomate. That's not a word, Square Enix. Yeah, they just make stuff up as they go sometimes, I think. More fragrant oil, though. That is the one that I need, right? Or is ooze? Vibrant ooze. That's the one that we can purchase. So.
Did you get something off your chest?
No, Hope. That's where her whatchamacallit is. That's where her brand is. I guess she would want to get that off of her chest, to be fair, because then she wouldn't have to deal with all this bullshit. One Vespid? Or is it a different kind of Vespid? It's a different kind of Vespid, I was going to say. This Vespid looks a little different. Let's just take a look. Barbed Spectre. Cool. Alright, that's stable enough. Let's just dual cast. See what we get out of it. Is this guy supposed to do something special? Because so far he hasn't really done much other than basically get staggered.
Easy.
Easy, she says, as we get 3 stars. Never mind. But again, like I said previously, something that I wasn't privy to way back when I played this all the way through the first time is that getting low star rankings actually doesn't matter too much in this game, because the lower you get, the more aerosol items that you get. So that can actually come in fairly handy for you if you're having trouble, because it means that you'll still be able to get through the game even if you're having trouble by just playing normally. You'll just get some aerosols to make the battles easier. There's the Edge Carbine, by the way. As you can see here, it's significantly weaker at the moment than the Blazefire Saber level 3, but that's because it's level 3. It has a much higher magic multiplier than the Blazefire Saber or the Gladius. So if you want to use Lightning as a, as a non-player character, like if you're not going to control her as your party leader, I would say this is probably a good idea because her casting speed is really fast, and then this encourages the AI to use it. So I'm planning on having Lightning be one of my 2 party leaders, though, so I don't think I'm really going to need to bother with that. I probably will just sell it and use the all-rounder that I've got for a little bit of extra. I'm just gonna go in. I don't care. Get rid of the little guys first. They're nice and quick. Throw a Fyra there, Hope. That would actually work a little bit better in that particular case.
Out of my way!
Okay, I thought that was going to be enough to get rid of them, but that's fine. This will actually, it might even be faster than doing, it's about the same. Doing a, whatchamacallit there. A gunshot. No, it's a little faster actually than doing a gunshot. I can't believe 3 attacks and Ruin might be slightly better. Because I want to avoid having her
No problem.
do the attacks. Yeah, poison slowly ticks down. It probably ticks down more HP later, but for now, it doesn't really bother me too much. I think that fragrant oil was the one that I was talking about. Hang on, let me look at exactly which organic materials I'm looking for here that we can buy. Sturdy bones, barbed tails, and vibrant ooze. That's it. It's bone, tail, and ooze. You know, you'd think I'd be able to remember that because bone tail. Paper Mario, the 1,000-year door. Oh,
You
good.
picked the wrong fight.
Another one of these guys. Well, I don't think he's turning around anytime soon, so let's just go in. Snow has one redeeming quality for you. His ultimate hurts. Yeah, it sure does. Deals big damage. You know what? Let's just go straight to Super Soldier. Get Protect on me, and then we'll go from there. Thank you. Get Protect on yourself while you're at it as well. Nice dodge, Lightning. You know what? Let's just stabilize the gauge, and then we'll go straight to dual casting. Okay, that's close enough. Is he weak to anything in particular? Weakness is ice and water, so Aqua Strike is better. In all cases here, Hope you could definitely be using whatchamacallit while you're at it. Blizzard, rather than just doing that. Launch him up! You're going for a ride! Just launch him up again. Let Hope keep him in the air for a second. And then I'll keep him in the air. See? You can stagger your attacks to kind of keep your enemies stuck in the air a little bit. It helps a little bit because sometimes when they're on the ground, they certain enemies that you can launch later on in the game will have massive stagger resistance unless you have like vigilance or something on. Oh, magical moments, nice. That's another shop that we just got there. But yeah, so if you stagger your attacks to keep them launched in the air, they don't get to do anything. Basically, they're not allowed to play the video game. But yeah, here's another retail network for us, so we'll check that out once we get to the next save point, which should be shortly. Although again, there's one more treasure that I'm looking for. It's not right here, so should be coming up soon, though. I think it's in this area. Okay, environmental regulation. This is the place. Aerial combat is nutty. Yeah, it really helps sometimes just keeping enemies stuck up there, honestly. So it's one of the more defining features of Commandos in this game, and it's also one of the reasons why I want to try to have at least one Commando per party that can launch people, because if you don't, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. Okay, have I ever looked at this menu before? That's probably why I never looked at this shop before, because the first thing you get out of them is an auric amulet. Armlet? No, amulet. Which, definitely not my first choice of item to purchase. Alright, so like I said, Edge Carbine, if you're not planning on playing as Lightning as a main character, like if you're not planning on having her be the party leader when she's in the party, this is probably your best bet for her. But since I am planning on doing that, I'm just going to get rid of it. So, I wouldn't sell it though if you're planning on doing like 100% completion stuff. It's certain weapons you can't get back. I think the Edge Carbine you can purchase later, but yeah, obviously I don't care about that. I'm not doing any of that stuff. So, I don't think any of this stuff is worth selling at the moment. So I think I'll just wait on that. Maxing every weapon is pain. I didn't do it. Yeah, no, I don't think it's necessary to max every weapon. If you're gonna, like, do some min-maxy stuff, Lightning gets one weapon, the Gladius, that's better on physical attacks, and one weapon, the Edged Carbine, that's better on magical attacks. So depending on what role you want her to take in your party, it might be better to keep both of them, honestly. So... But I was figuring, now, if she's gonna be in the party most of the time, she's probably going to be the party leader. So I'm just going to try to give her like some all-purpose stuff, you know, since that's probably what I'm going to do with her. Okay, so do we upgrade these to level 5 now? Okay, we don't want to get rid of this, so maybe we'll just get it to level 4. I feel like that would be better. 1.25 times experience, so how many do we have? 5? 3 bomb fragments as well. That's 461. Just do this. There we go. And that'll get it up 1 level. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really worried too much about getting these up. I'll just get them up a little bit at a time, I think. Although I said before that I was going to wait to upgrade them until the beginning of each chapter, so maybe I should do that at some point. Oh, this still has the 1.5 times multiplier on it. That's kind of nice. Use those up, and maybe we can get it back to the 1.75 times. Yeah, there we go. And then... Okay, sweet. So that's... it's not in terrible shape. We've still got some stuff left over as well. Alright, and I think that's it. Let's save here. There should be one more save point before the end of this place, and then I think we might be done with the chapter pretty soon. We'll see. It wasn't worth. Or keep all of them because you have decision paralysis. I mean, yeah, that's also a possibility too, right? I prefer, in this particular case, to sell them, just because I know how much money I need in order to get certain things now. Now that I have my notes available to me, I can actually tell you how much money I need in order to buy everything. By the time we get to chapter 10, that's when a lot of the better stuff that I want to purchase from shops becomes available. And I need, let's see, 48 and 24 is 72, 5,077, 82, 5,000 more, and then 24 is 106,000 gil. And I suppose I could buy a couple of perovskite at that point, which would be another 60,000. So that's 166,000 gil. If we have that by the end of chapter 10, I'd be pretty cool with that, and then I would buy those perovskites. But the perovskites are probably going to be like a last thing that I worry about, you know. So.
Let's get this over with.
All right, so don't hit B. I said don't hit B. At least not at first.
That's how it's done.
Nice work. Get a fire right in the middle like a big grenade. Like the hand grenades that I miss so much. Which enemies dropped Vibrant Ooze anyway? That's the stuff that we need to work with. I might be able to preempt it if I go over here. Yep. Good. Alright, I say we take care of Blitz first, actually. Because then we can get both of them stabilized and then do that real quick. You first, the crawler's easy. Throw some marbles at him, Lightning. That'll work. Alright, well, again, the initiative bonus really makes a big difference there, so... okay, so there's an item in there with a behemoth. Probably if we kill all of these things, that's when the behemoth will become available. So what's over here, anyway? Oh, okay. A bunch of these things and a behemoth. Okay, and now I'm in here with them. Alright, then. Can I get away from you to the point where I can still preempt it? Yeah. If I go in a certain direction here. Hope, you're outside! I guess I'm fighting this one by myself, huh? That's cool. Alright, no way around this, so let's just beat him up, I guess. Nice imposing camera angle you got there, game. Alright, we'll just take care of the crawlers first, since they're right in the middle of everybody. Kind of just sweep right through them real quick. Wipe the floor with them, and then take care of the other guy.
Target's a target.
Alright, off to medicine. I guess I'll heal myself, and then I'll heal Hope. I don't think I'll need all of those, but 1, 2, 3, and that's good. Back to slash and burn. Well, at least he's got protect to keep him from having any problems there. Let's see if Ruin does a little bit better against this guy. Maybe I can look at his... Okay, well, we know about the water thing now, so that's good. Hope, you gonna be okay there, buddy? Hang on, I'll toss a potion. Right, water instead of thunder. We don't need thunder.
Just hang on!
Just gotta stagger him, buddy, then we'll be good. Lightning, whenever you're ready. There you go.
Keep up with me, Hope.
Alright, I'm ruining. I don't want to ruin. Hold on. Get out of here. No heave for you. There we go. He almost gets 2-hit if he gets hit by heave. Yeah, Hope is a little bit on the squishy side in terms of his defenses. He doesn't really benefit very much from the fact that he has almost no HP. So I think after that, honestly, I'm kind of down to just, okay, well, I guess we're going to preemptive these guys anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, so probably Spectre A I can blitz. And get right in the middle of all of them. So, yeah, there we go. See? Look at that. Let's do it again. Oh, good. The one flew in, so now he gets targeted as well.
Out of my way!
Nice. It's always nice when you can AoE enemies down like that. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm a little bit more impatient in my old age, and that's what makes me want to AoE things down more. Can I just walk in through here? Yeah. Alright, well. If I can just walk in through here, I guess it doesn't... The fence doesn't really keep me out, now does it, in that particular case? Okay, good, I stabilized the gauge before he staggered. Because that would have been problematic otherwise. Alright, I'll wait a second, so Hope will... No, just launch him up, Lightning. There we go. I was kind of hoping I'd keep him there, but... Yeah, we're gonna lose this one because of the stagger not being there. That's okay. Alright, so let's dual cast it up. And I'll Aqua Strike now, so that way we use the weakness. Can we get this in before Hope loses all of his life in his body? Maybe. Yeah, we're close. There we go. Good. I think Ravage is one of those passes that you never forget about because it's so damn good. Yeah, it makes a big difference to the amount of... I don't think it changes the stability, but it does. It seems to do a lot more damage just by virtue of the Ravager being present, so it helps with that. I don't know if it's necessarily faster than just doing 2 blitzes, but it's not that much slower, to be fair. I'd have to see how much damage, extra damage it does to see if it offsets. I honestly haven't really looked, but... Alright, so I think we want to go up from here, but we can't go up directly from this point, so... are the Lobos fighting the Behemoth? It's hard to tell. I think so.
What's wrong?
Trying to size these guys up. That's what's wrong. So probably take out the Behemoth first, because, well, maybe I can take out the Lobos first. No, I think we take out the Behemoth first. We fight with the Lobos. And now I'm gonna double blitz. I actually don't know if that's a good idea, because I don't even know if that hit the Lobos, honestly. Alright, go back to this one. Alright, Lightning, I need you to, like, actually attack instead of just standing there wondering what's going on. Alright, we should be able to get that other one just by doing this. Yeah, he moved away. That's okay. Okay, never mind. I won't switch it up. Have a Phoenix down, then. Jesus. Okay, I think that might have been... Okay, it wasn't the guy that has like 1 HP left. That's this one, so there we go. Don't know how he feels about Aqua Strike, but Spark Strike will probably do fine.
Easy.
And the preemptive strike helped there, so I didn't really have to be super focused on trying to get that really good in order to get the 5-star. We kind of had
We're onto something.
a lot going on for us there. All right, so we want to go up that way, evidently. But what's over here? I want to see what's over here first. Okay. What am I trapped in here with? Oh, okay. One of these things and a Behemoth. Alright, that's fine. What would be best? I'm going to start with the Spectre. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to start with the Spectre. If we have to heal, we have to heal. I might switch over to Symbiosis in a minute once we get this guy. What's he? Weakness, fire. Okay. I can't really do anything about that with lightning, so I'll just keep slashing, burning. Then we'll switch over to Symbiosis in a second once we get this guy. So we can get Protect going and stuff. That's not who I wanted to heal, actually. Quickly, quickly, quickly! Thank you.
We got this under control.
Now we do.
Time to switch it up.
You turned with not very much purpose there, Lightning. You gotta understand, when you do that, you make this a little bit harder to micromanage. Alright, anyway.
Keep up with me, Hope.
Just keep splashing water on him and we'll get him eventually. Switch and launch him into the air. Yeah, I should have launched him a little bit later. That's okay. That might be. Yep, there we go. We staggered the attacks a little bit. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Especially for not getting a preemptive strike. No spoils, but that's fine. What did they have back here? That's what we were looking for, the Watchman's Amulet. It's not particularly good at this moment, to be honest. It gives, when you go to critical, into a critical state, like when you're in red HP, I guess I can just look at it. It'd probably be easier to visualize if I just looked at it. When you get into critical HP, it gives you the Veil status, which cuts in half the chance that you'll get statused by any status in the entire game. So it can be useful, but I don't like the critical part. It's only when you get down to red HP that it gives you Veil. You don't have access to Veil for a little while yet, because Hope gets it eventually, but not until, I think, like stage 6 of the Crystarium or something. So this is the earliest you can technically get the Veil status, unless you use Aegisols, in which case I think you just get them automatically. So, but this is the earliest you can get it without using any aerosols. Excuse me. That being said, if you master it at 600 experience and then use a Perovskite, you can upgrade it into, I think it's called a Shrouding Talisman, which just gives you the Veil status at the start of a fight, which is pretty good. I don't know if we'll be getting a Perovskite anytime soon. Probably not, but if we do, it might be the first thing that gets it, honestly. We shall see. Thing over here? No, I don't think so. Nope. Alright, off we go. Not that way, though. We don't want to go back down. And in a moment, when we take this elevator, we get to see how close we are to 1500 CP. I like keeping it in suspense because I didn't look when I was just on the menu there. Well, we got some more enemies right here, but also a save point right back here. Bioweapons maintenance. I'll hit the save point up first before we hit up the enemies, because it looks like there might be one more save point after this, honestly. Unless the, whatchamacallit is just deceiving me. The objective marker is just deceiving me, which is possible. But it looks like we're above the 1500, so we should be able to get everything for both of them now. I think. Unless I did my math wrong, which is possible. Yeah, not quite for this one, because we need 350 for that. Okay, but she's almost done. As for Hope, I think he can actually finish his now, because his is the only one that's left is Medic, and it's just got a bunch of 130s in it and then a 3-something, so... Which I think when I did the math, it was a total of 1500, but again, could do the math wrong, so... 353, 330, perfect. Okay, so Hope has level 2 for all of his stuff here. From what I remember, out of what I remember from the game, I think Hope is considered one of the better medics in the game because he's got such a high casting speed. He's one of the fastest casters in the game. I think when it comes to healing, he is actually the fastest caster in the game because the healing casting animation is different from the attacking casting animation. Like when he's attacking, he kind of throws his arm out in front of him and throws the spells like that, but when he's healing, he just kind of like flings his arm like in a half circle over his head. And I think that's faster than anybody else. Like Lightning is not the best medic, in case it hasn't been clear from the limited amount of times I've had her heal. She doesn't exactly get the job done. You know what I might do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it? I might star that Watchman's Amulet, because I'm less likely to accidentally sell it if I upgrade it all the way. So let's just see if I can do that real quick. So, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we can use it on, so... So there's 1.25 times, we're at 99. Oh, those are worth a lot. Let's just use these other ones instead. See if we can get to 1.5 times. There we go. Alright, and we only need about 429 now, so we don't want to use 1 bomb ashes because that wouldn't get us to where we need to go. I said 429, right? Yeah, this should get us there. Okay, so now it's starred. Again, just starring it is not going to make the difference. It'll still stay critical veil. So you don't really even have to upgrade these ones that give you, like, statuses when you upgrade them because it doesn't change what they do, unlike with something like the Silver Bangle or with weapons where it increases their stats the more you upgrade them. These ones will stay exactly the same. They give you the exact same stuff no matter what level they are, which is why they only have 1 level and then they're starred. So, but I like I said, in some cases I like to upgrade them just so that way my own brain doesn't just like unga bunga and go through my list and say, oh, I'll just sell this, and then I sell something that I actually wanted to use, and I end up having to buy it again later. So rather than do that to myself, let's just star it, and then I don't have to worry about it, you know. Lightning has okay magic, serviceable. Yeah, her magic is good. It's just that her healing it leaves something to be desired. It makes me wonder why medic is her third role, honestly, because she's not particularly good at it. Like, she gets cure and cura, but she doesn't get curaga or cura. Actually, I don't even think it's called curaga in this game. I think it's something else. But she doesn't get the level 3 healing spell or the level 4 healing spell. Hope gets both. Vanille gets both. I think, if I remember right, even like Snow and Saz get the level 3 healing spell, like Curaga or whatever it's called. But I don't think Lightning gets anything beyond Cura, which is like, why are you a medic exactly? Like, I guess to get the roll bonus, but I mean, I guess that's somewhat important. Oh well, whatever. Let's just double it up. Keep blitzing. Stabilize that gauge so that we can see if this does enough to... Okay, yeah, with the stagger it will definitely do enough. So, they're kind of... Okay, I was going to say they're kind of separating now, but... I probably can get away with just attacking now. And if I wasn't poisoned before this... Since Square Enix can make up words, I guess I can too. Okay, that gets rid of that guy. I'll switch in a second. Probably just throw a potion. So. Yeah, I was gonna say, Lightning, when you're ready. Because now we gotta throw another one. I'm just gonna switch to medicine. Fuck this shit. Alright, there we go. Now that we've lost the whole gauge, basically. Because I can do nothing except stagger. This is why we need vigilance, by the way. This is why I've always said that vigilance is one of those statuses that I really enjoy. Because every single one of the staggers that these guys have done to us in this fight with Envenomate, we would not have staggered nearly that much if we had vigilance on. Now, obviously, in this particular chapter, you can never get vigilance because Hope can't get to that stage of the Crystarium. Actually, I don't think he can get vigilance now I think about it. I think it's a Saz... Well, it's not Saz exclusive, but I don't think Hope gets vigilance. I think he gets Veil instead, if I remember correctly, but... Okay, those are dead people. I'm gonna go back to the save point, actually, and just upgrade Lightning all the way on her Crystarium, just in case this throws us directly into the boss fight. Which is possible. Probably a design choice. The parts of the game with just her and Hope would be a bit more painful with only Hope as a medic. Yeah, I guess that's fair, yeah. So they're probably like, no, we gotta make sure that Lightning can help out with that. And to be fair, I mean, it helps out with Odin as well, because then Odin's like... not nearly as difficult because half of his whole thing is have Lightning heal. Excuse me, but then again, I suppose it could have been... Like, I could see her being a Sentinel instead. When she does Sentinel, although that would give her the same roles as Snell, which would be a little bit different. Or maybe she could do Saboteur, because she's pretty good at both of those. She's actually got a unique gameplay style when she's a Sentinel, where she avoids enemy attacks rather than tanks them. And for Saboteur, she gets most of what Vanille gets, to be fair, so...
What happened here?
Fair question.
Bad luck.
Probably ran amok of all the natural monsters.
And found something worse.
Like
You
what?
can't just leave them like this.
Don't touch anything! Control your emotions. If you want to survive, you forget about sympathy.
I don't know about that one, Lightning.
How can I explain?
I mean, if you stop to help every Samaritan along the way, you're not going to be able to help yourself. That's the point, but...
Think of it like a strategy. Focus on your ultimate goal and shut out everything else.
that has led to your sister being alienated from you, Lightning. I don't think this is the best advice to be giving someone who literally has psychological trauma right now.
Let doubt take over, and despair will cripple you.
You stacked a party of all the female party members just because. I mean, they're pretty good together, all things considered.
Strategy.
Oh.
Good.
Only thing you're missing there is a
I'll take
synergist,
anything to
but you
help me
can
get through
fix
this.
that.
I'll call it Operation Nora.
Nora.
No, not that
My
Nora.
mother's name.
Different Nora. This is the stupid part, by the way.
Your revenge.
His mother's name is Nora,
Don't tell me.
and Snow's group is
I know I'm
called
getting revenge on
Nora.
him.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
I know that. But sorry won't cut it.
Well, neither will cutting him to ribbons with Lightning's survival knife, Hope. I hate to break it to you.
Snow didn't kill your mother. The Sanctum did.
Whose side are you on?
The side of truth.
That's a funny thing coming from you. Because you've got your truth, but
Fine.
doesn't mean it's
I'll
correct.
fight the Sanctum with you. I'll learn to survive.
He says this, but the next time we're with them, well, we don't find Snow, but...
When you know that you're the same. Even I have dark secrets.
Nah, no way,
Secrets
Vanille.
I'd rather forget.
I don't believe that for a second. You're the most up and front person out of all of us in the whole party. Straight shooter with no secrets whatsoever. Anyway, there's a SciComm hit squad here to kill us now. So that's just great. We waited too long. Okay, so that's where we're actually going, is up there. That's inhaling copium. Pretty damn hard, Lightning. Why buff when you can stack all the debuffs? Yeah, I mean, that's fair, too. Don't need the buffs if you've got all the debuffs, but... I don't know. I always, like, try to balance the party so I can get the buffs and the debuffs, but maybe that's just me being greedy, honestly. Alright, first things first, get rid of the marksmen, as usual, because they're usually weaker, and all they sit there and do is destabilize you by shooting you. Or they infire their friends. That's also a possibility.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, I don't know, though. Like, he says right here, oh, yeah, well, you know, I'll learn to survive. I'll do this. And it's like... Okay, but then why does Chapter 7 happen? I can't say too much, though, because we're not there yet. So I'll try to hold myself off. Alright, symbiosis it is.
Good call. Here.
Double him up before he gets absolutely annihilated. There we go. Back to slash and burn we go. Stabilize that gauge, Lightning. Not that we're really going to need it, but you know. Goodbye. Into the stratosphere with you. Just thought that you should just cripple the enemy with the weight of all the debuffs. I mean, yeah, that works too. Then if you cripple them with more weight, how can you launch them? No, I get your point, though. As I say, I think this motorcycle is going to see me no matter what I do, so I might as well just go in guns blazing. Alright, I think Ruin worked better on the Velocicycles before, so let's try that, I guess. Yeah, so his gunshots are like rapid fire, and every single one of those shots, like you can see the difference in terms of the damage that Lightning took versus what Hope took. I think that's because, if I remember correctly, Lightning still has physical wall, whereas Hope does not. And those small hits can build up eventually if you, you know, don't have the higher stuff, so... Alright, so we're doing 950 or so with the ruins, so let's see what the physical attacks do. Oh, okay, yeah, well, I guess we should stick with those then, shouldn't we? I think we got him from this. Triple beam? I don't think so, friend. You don't, you just ravage Ruinga them. Yeah, I mean, Ruinga is pretty powerful. Don't really need much when you've got Ruinga, to be fair. What, backing off? What do you think this is? You think I'm gonna let you escape? Get out of here. Alright, marksman first. And, yeah, since they're all coming right to me, I might as well blitz them. And then after this, oh look, they're all in a nice little group for me now. Good. Just do one of these. Do it again. Don't even need to stagger them if we're gonna do that. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hang on, Phoenix down and go-go. There you go. Well, since you're all still here... Yes, yes, Lightning, you mentioned that before. I wonder if I potion here. Nah, I think we can get him. I think it's kind of a waste, though, that I've been using Phoenix Downs so flippantly, but it's probably okay. I mean, I'm still getting 5 and 4 stars, so, like, can't be that bad, right? Wonder if those guys have any chances of dropping any, like, credit chips or something for you, because if I remember correctly, in Chapter 9, a lot of the soldier enemies have a pretty high chance of dropping, like, credit chips and stuff for you as well, but I could be wrong about that. I think, I don't think we have any more Crystarium to upgrade, do we? I think we're done, so I guess you don't even have to fight all the fights in order to max out in certain cases. I mean, to be fair, we're only just there, but, you know. Yep, that's maxed. How about you? I think you're maxed as well. Yep, everybody's maxed out. Okay, check on our stuff here. Yeah, and that black belt, that's the thing that's giving us the physical wall, and it's physical wall 10 as well. It's not even physical wall 5, which physical wall 5 would only be negating the first 5 points of damage. In Lightning's case, it's negating the first 10, which is quite substantial. It's so substantial, in fact, that I may just buy Hope a black belt, since I don't have anything else on him at the moment, and it would probably be more worth it than just leaving him with nothing. So, let's go see. I think that would be in B&W. Yes, that would be in B&W. It's 4,500 for the black belt, which is kind of a lot, but I think we can afford it at this point. We've sold enough of our own items to feel like I can afford it. So, let's put that on and see if that makes a difference. Because I know that the next boss fight, which might be coming up in like 2 seconds here, has an attack that's physical that deals a lot of rapidly hitting small damage. So, might be more worth it for us to do that real quick. We'll see. Do I want to... See, I don't remember if I got anything that I'd want to sell. I guess I got Ether Soul. I don't need that, so let's just sell that. Although, the Ether Soul there does remind me of something that I want to try to do, hopefully, in this next fight. And I need to check something before I do it. So let me think about how I want to do this. Because the next fight, if it's a boss fight, lets me potentially now use the summons for something other than just dead weight in this game, which I didn't really use the summons for much at all previously, but there might be something that we can actually do with them in this one, so I'll let you know in just a second. Let's see, 123 is not enough. 134 is enough to get that to level 5, so let's just do that real quick, because we might as well. And then the Hawkeye, that needs, let's see, 399 in order to get there. Oh, that's 343. I better keep that. These things are pretty good. 399. Let's use the ones that I've got real quick, just to get those out of my inventory, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay. Yeah, we'll use that too. And there we go, Hawkeye level 5. Extra magic. So I think next chapter, then, what we'll do is we'll try to get the Vega 42s to level 5, and we'll also try to get Vanille's new weapon to level 5, and then once we find Snow again and he's actually controllable, then I'll try to get his power circle level 5. Okay, so here's how it is. So I didn't really know this because I've never used this option, but when you go to the status menu, you can actually check the status of your Eidolon if you have it by pressing the square button, and that lets you not only see their status resistances and their strength and magic and stuff, but it also lets you see how to use their Gestalt mode attacks, which might be helpful going in because then you can use those in order to actually do damage to stuff. I'm going to try to use Odin in this fight, though. And there's a reason for it. It's because Odin's Zantetsuken actually has an instant death mechanic to it. And as far as I'm aware, nothing is quote-unquote immune to it, but they have to be at a certain HP threshold in order for it to activate. And the way that you figure out what that threshold is you take Odin's strength value, so in this case it's 141. You multiply that by the square of the percentage that the stagger gauge is at. So like if the stagger gauge is at 500%, that's a percent. So you have to divide that by 100 in order to get the number that you would stick in there. So you divide 500 by 100, you get 5, square 5, that's 25. And then you multiply that whole value by 3. So in this particular case, if we got him to 500%, which I think we could get him to fairly reliably the next boss, it would be 500% times 141, actually it'd be 25 times 141 times 3. So let's see, 141 times 25 times 3. So if we get the next boss down to lower than 10,575 HP, Odin can instant kill him. So I'm going to keep that in mind because we might be able to do that in this next fight. And let's just say we get it up to 600%. What does that do for me? So it'd be 636. So 141 times 36 times 3 is like 15,000, a little more then. Okay. Beat the game without realizing you could see the Eidolon menu. Yeah, same though, honestly. That's why I'm trying to use it, so that way we can actually like get something out of it, you know? So, but now that we've seen what Odin's value is, oh, and by the way, that value remains static. It's entirely dependent on two things. One, what is your stage of the Crystarium? So since we're at stage 3, he'll always have 141 strength. The more stages you get, the higher his strength goes. And 2, how many rolls has Lightning maxed out? And when I say maxed out, I mean if we go onto the Crystarium menu and we look at the rolls here, they say level 5 next to them. Not level 2, not level 1, level 5. Since we can't do that until almost the end game, I'm not really particularly concerned about that for now. The more important thing is what is your stage of the Crystarium, and for now it's stage 3, so he will constantly be at that 141 strength. So basically, if we get the enemy between 10 and 15,000 HP, Odin may just be able to insta-kill them. So we're going to try that in the next fight. I don't know how much HP the next guy's going to have, but we'll see what we can do about it. You know? Alright, we'll get rid of the marksman first, though. I was thinking this was just going to lead straight into a boss fight, but that's fine. Really? Alright, there we go. That might be stable enough to just do this. What are you weak to anyway? Nothing. Okay, cool. He plays powerful ice-based attacks. I think I might need to stabilize this a little bit. Nah, I'll just dual cast it up and it'll be fine. See? It's fine. I don't know what you were planning there, sir, but it's not going to happen. Not anytime soon. Not if I have anything to say about it. I'm going to need to switch to Slash and Burn, though, in order to get him before the stagger gauge goes all the way down.
Keep up with me, Hope.
Quickly now. Damn it. We were close! Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, unfortunately. I think there was one other thing that it counts in as well, but I don't remember what it is. So, yeah, the not staggering, not finishing him in one stagger was the difference between their 5 and 4 stars. So, do we use a Fortisol here? Let's Since I know now with those guys out of the way. I think so, because I've got how many of them? I've got 11. I think we use one.
I have this feeling something bad's about to happen.
Or maybe I don't, just because I want to have Odin do his thing. Let's not, actually. I don't know, I don't really use Fortisol and Aegisol and all that stuff when I do remember to use it until usually like chapter 11, I think. So.
We're moving. What's going on?
This is an elevator, Hope. Have you never been on one before? And it's an elevator to get us out of here, as a matter of fact. You fucking can't. Oh, Excelblum lost units because he forgot to move them again. That's fun.
This is it. Operation Nora.
Actually, that's an Ivysaur, Hope. A very weird-looking Ivysaur, to be fair. What the hell is this thing, anyway? Well, we can Libroscope it, and then we can find out. An Aster Protoflorian. Perry the Protoflorian? No, definitely not. Can alter its own elemental weaknesses, delivers devastating physical attacks. Some chain resistance. He drops a tungsten bangle, which is actually worse at level 1 than our starred silver bangles, to be fair. But that's fine. Alright, let's get this started. I might go Syncom in a second just to get Protect and stuff up. Efflorescence is that attack that I was just talking about. Maybe we'll go Medicine, actually. Just top myself off while Hope gets all this stuff. Can I cast, please? Thank you. Okay, anyway, back to Slash and Burn. How much HP do you have? Oh, okay, we gotta get you down quite a bit on your HP there, big guy, in order for, whatchamacallit to even work. Exoproofing Lightning. Okay, so now he's resistant to lightning, got it. But if he's resistant to lightning, how am I supposed to kill him? Well, just don't use lightning. Maybe I... Okay, I guess I can keep doing this. I didn't press circle enough. I was gonna say, maybe I potion here. And maybe I do it again. Let's stabilize that gauge a little bit. I guess I'll physically attack, why not? Yeah, I think I need a different medic thing here. Because just doing med sin isn't really helping me all that much, honestly. But let's do it anyway. Top off a little bit, do that same thing to Hope. Maybe I do that again to myself real quick and hope that he doesn't lose the chain while we're at it. Let's see. He's almost there, but we can attack him before he loses it. There we go. One more of these. Actually, let's just start that off as it is. Oh, we can launch him. Okay, good. Might be worth it to do that multiple times then, since we can launch him. I'll do another one. And then we'll switch to dual casting and get the bar up a little bit more, and then maybe we can... No, I don't think we'll get Odin in here for this one. I think we're going to have to wait on that one. Because he's still got 76,000 HP, so it's unlikely that we'll get him in this stagger, first of all. But once we get the next stagger going, we might be okay to do that. Power chain him at least. I guess I'll just wait then, since... Oh, my power chain whiffed. Alright, that's fine. Okay then, that was fancy for no reason. Exoproofing water. Okay, anyway, let's keep this up. Get him in the second stagger, I think. Probably could have finished him in one stagger, but this is fine too. Okay. Well, he knocked me up in the air, but I can stabilize the gauge at least before, I was going to say, Maybe I can't because he's about to stagger me again, but he did not, so that's at least good. I'll do another one. Alright, that's fine. He's exo-proof to water, actually, so I gotta do Fire Thunder. Okay, guess we won't be staggering him today. At least not yet, anyway.
We got this under control.
Well, we can reapply our buffs while we're at it anyway, though. Okay, there we go. It ain't fast, it ain't pretty, but... Lightning, were you jumping just there? Why were you jumping? Alright, then. The game does what it wants sometimes, I guess. Just top off in case he decides to efflorescence again. Oh my fucking god. Lightning, you're getting staggered and all this other... Just hit the guy. Like, it's not that hard. I have no control over it either, so... I'm gonna use Ruin so I can back up a little bit. I feel like that might be better. I actually like this boss theme a lot. Yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. Hope killing everything in your way will not be a very effective operation. Yeah, no, probably not, honestly. Yeah, he needs to learn a little restraint, this guy, I think. Alright, let's get him staggered real quick so we can maybe get Odin in here once we get him staggered. Oh, okay. I guess since I'm out of it. I must have pressed circle one too many times, that's my bad. I'm having a bad day with this guy, I'll be honest. Not making my job very easy. Alright, switch it up again. Dual cast the hell. Okay, well, he's staggered now, so... Let's get Odin in here. We're not quite there yet with the amount of stagger, but we can get him there just by using the gauge, so... All we gotta do is ravage it up, and then we should be okay. And that should fill up his Gestalt gauge, too. And keep Hope out of the limelight as well to prevent him from, you know, dying, which would be kind of bad for him. So... Alright, 341. We need to get that over 500%. Let's see, 19. So we're not quite there yet, but Odin should keep him pretty busy while we're at it, so okay. Let me just do one round of ruins real quick and switch back. You know what? Actually, do stealth mode now.
We do this together.
I think that should be enough. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in there, and I'm probably going to Stormblade him a couple of times, and then we Zantetsuken, and he should be done. Granted, we probably could have done all this in a lot less fanfare and flourish, but there's no kill like overkill, right? I hope I get him in time. Okay, good. We got it. Just barely eked that one out before he reset his gauge, but we should have him. See? Didn't even show the HP bar. It would normally, if it just did damage, it would show damage there, but because he was below the threshold, it actually just destroyed him immediately. Now, you can use that a lot more effectively than I just did. I'm going to have to learn how to use it effectively, but there's this really good fight demonstrating that from Chapter 10 of this game, I think, where the guy beat the boss of that one in like 2 minutes or something like that using Odin in one stagger. It's pretty nuts, actually. Wait, Odin can use Thundaka, Thundara, but yeah, it's still pretty early for that. The folly of youth, I guess. Anyway, we get a tungsten bangle and the Creature Comforts retail service for doing that. That's actually the one that lets you buy organic components, so we'll keep that in mind for later.
Operation Nora, stage 1 complete.
Hope, you can't just call every stage of us killing things Operation Nora stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 here. You're being cringe. Stop it. I mean, he's like 14, so to be fair, him being cringe is not really out of the question. But anyway, we got a free 1000 CP out of that as well, so that kind of helps, I guess. But yeah, I probably should have used the Fortisol there, because then we wouldn't even had to use Odin in order to do that stuff. So, now that being said, Odin does come in handy later on as well, if I remember correctly, because... Oh, we're in Stage 4 now, so we can use some of that CP. Not bad, we'll do that then. The jump in Odin's strength, if I remember correctly, from Stage 8 to Stage 9 is kind of absurd. It's like... Excuse me. He jumps up from, like... 600 strength or something like that to like 2,000 strength all of a sudden. And it's like, where did this come from, big guy? Oh, you get a Suna there. Okay, well, I guess that's kind of nice. But that means Hope's going to get it pretty soon as well, so... Overwhelm. Boost chain bonus effective attacks for each ally targeting the same enemy. I feel like that's probably the most important one to get at the moment. And then what else have we got? Smite. Deal heavy damage with attack to launch target about to recover from stagger. Both of those are pretty good. You know, I'll probably focus on getting Smite for now, since Lightning is still the, whatchamacallit, the main commando in the party. So I think I'll focus on getting this. Oh, and these are only 230, so that's actually not bad. We can get all the way up to Smite right now. Alright, cool. Well, that takes care of that. And then we still got 230 left over, which we can use to get this started. 237 even. So. And as for you, let's take a look at what else we've got here. Thundara. Okay, well, there's Thundara real quick, and Watera. Synergist gives you just stats, so that's probably going to be a last things last, and this probably gives you just stats as well. Yeah, okay, so Ravager first then. Let's see, these are 275, so we should be able to like top one of these off. Well, let's see how much this one costs first. 330, okay, yeah, we can top this one off then. And these are 275, so not just yet, Hope. We'll work on that in a little bit. So yeah, I don't know if the Odin thing, at least in this particular instance, was worth me bothering with what I did there, or if it would have been better if I just used a Fortisol and then wombo comboed the enemy to death, but yeah, I guess it gives the summons something to do, right? I don't know, it's kind of similar, like, it feels like in some cases they didn't really have a good method of balancing the summons in some of these later Final Fantasies. Like, I feel like all the way up to 7 they were pretty well balanced, and then as of 8 they ended up just kind of sitting there for me a lot, and then they were either really, really powerful or really, really not, depending on which game you were playing, so... I don't know, it just feels like they're either really well, like really powerful to the point where they're pretty much OP or broken, or they're really not at all, so...
That's where you live, right? We'll stop in when we get there.
No. We're Lassie now, and no one's there but my dad.
Well, don't we have to go there anyway?
You need to let him know what happened.
If you don't, he might regret not knowing later. Look, I love the Eidolons. I use them a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I never really found them particularly... I guess in certain cases they can be useful. It just depends on, like, in low-level challenges, they're monstrously powerful because they have, they do a lot more damage than you can do at any low level, obviously, but also because I guess they see some use, though, as well, depending on the elemental weaknesses of the enemies, and also because of the fact that they can break the damage limit naturally, if I remember correctly, without you needing to use... the Genji glove is an accessory that you can get later to break the damage limit from 99,999. You go up from that all the way up to 999,999 with the Genji glove equipped, but the summons don't need that, if I remember right, in order to break the damage limit, so...
Okay, time to hunt some Lassie.
So what, we find him and that's that?
Don't get all hot and bothered.
I was going to say, which crystal you got in your hand there? Snow, is that Shiva's crystal or Sarah's crystal? Use Vanille's a lot, to be honest. Got the trophy for hitting the damage cap with her. Day 12. Oh boy. I was gonna say, which flashback are we looking at now? Guys, you have guns. Why not just shoot them like those other civilians that you shot on day 13 in cold blood? Like, why are you trying to be careful with these ones? Like, why not just take the shot? I mean, now you're gonna do it, but like, it's too late now. You should have done that before. Blown up the bike before they get to it. Legit, what the fuck is with her brand? I don't know. It's a good question, and I don't have a good answer. Trying to figure out if the game has a good answer, if I'm being honest. We're taking heavy fire. Might want to find a spot to, like, park this baby. I didn't mean out in the open. I meant crash through the ceiling or something. Snow, you can jump out whenever you want, big guy. Or it can use fluid to bind her. Okay. Well, that's not what I needed to see today. Okay, he's not a Lassie yet. How in the actual hell did he live through that? Like, genuinely, what is he made of? Like, we have an excuse when he becomes a Lassie, because he could just... I mean, I guess he was taking gunfire before he was a Lassie, but, like... That was a long way to fall, and then he crashed with no seatbelt on. You know, maybe it's not a wonder that he acts the way he acts. Oh god, he has the microphone now.
But I was too late.
Because he's still suffering from a concussion from day 12. Maybe that's why he acts the way that he is. It's Mercury. Yeah, I don't think she's coming back from that one.
Ow!
I knew you were hard-headed.
That was ow.
Snap to
I
it.
still have a
We're running
concussion.
out.
Ow.
Yeah. Hunting Lassie, right?
This is our chance. Do not let the Lassie escape. Move out.
So which ones are they hunting right now? Exactly.
I will keep my promise, Lightning.
How are you going to do that by hunting Lassie? The only Lassie that are left on Cocoon at the moment that we are aware of are us. Okay, I guess I get to save again. Okay, because that's the end of the chapter. Fair enough. Guess it saves me the trouble from having to watch that again now, doesn't it? But that means we get to, surprisingly, greener pastures. I expected the proto-ecology place to be greener pastures, but that's not exactly true now, is it? Having fun yet, Vanille? Probably didn't expect a place like the Sunlith Waterscape to show up here. You know, you say Riparian Corridor like that subtitle is actually going to contextualize this for me. I got no fucking idea where this place is.
Fresh air. Nice.
I don't know if it's that fresh.
Where we headed?
We're still on Cocoon.
You don't know? I thought you had somewhere in mind the way you took off.
I followed the smell.
Of the flowers. Were your moms hippies? Mom and dad? Whatever you had as parents, were they hippies?
Smells nice. All naturey.
Saz, I wouldn't be
Just
sniffing
slow
at the moment.
And I think something bit me.
Great. Now we're gonna have to treat his venom wound.
Hide.
I'd be figuring out, wait, I just followed the 16-year-old girl, not knowing where she was going, and now I don't know where the hell I am.
Polam. That is not good. I wonder if those two were caught in the net.
It's funny, because they were also worried about you two.
What do we do? I mean, right now, what can we do?
Find a different place to hide, since you two like running.
The other way.
So what's the other way?
Which would be to Nautilus.
Okay. Ah, the leitmotif is kicking in. I love the Sunleth Waterscapes music.
It was like he'd forgotten that I was still there.
He's in a bit of a fog right now, Vanille, probably because of Nautilus, but we can't explain why until we get there. This is your favorite area. It is pretty great, isn't it? Good music, vibrant area, lots of color. I'm down for it. I'm all for it here. Unfortunately, we don't have second accessory slots yet for Vanille or for Saz, but we've got like 5,000 CP to use, so let's use it, shall we? Now look at all that CP we've got to burn through. We will get through a lot of this stuff just in the process. Unfortunately, they don't have any accessory slots available at the moment, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. Alright, so how about we get them both to like the top of their... Okay, that's the top of that, so now we can keep going. Let's see. Oh, poison! We finally get poison. That's nice. Quake. Probably won't use that very much, but it's there. Her roll level. Let's start with this. Because these are just 130, so they shouldn't take too long to get all the way up. But yeah, it's a vocal track, but it's like a almost like a slightly like a dance remix type of a dealie of The Promise, which I think is pretty cool for the background music here. So, I don't even know what's up here. I just saw another level and I was like, okay, well I guess that's where we're going. How much was all that? Oh, 320? Jesus Christ, what was all that about? Why does this cost more than the next part? Let's see here. Aurora, Thunder. Overwhelm. Good. She gets overwhelmed pretty quickly. That's nice. Fyra. And the roll level. Yeah. Let's just do all this up because it's all at 130. So, yeah, I don't know why that one was like 320 per thing and then 500. I just kept going because I was like, oh, you got the CP. Whatever. We'll make it. And 330 there. All right. Another roll level there. So those are maxed out. Next. Why is this theme so good? It's pretty great, isn't it? It's another Masashi Hamau's track, though, so I'm not really shocked that it's this good. Oh, this is another one. It's 320 and 500, and then all the way up. There we go. Now she's got Asuna and Cura. Maybe I should have done these first. Because Cura is a target all healing spell. So I guess that's what we'll be burning through our CP in order to get closer to for the next little while. Alright, back to Saz. Was probably a story gate with that CP? Yeah, probably. Like, that was probably where it ended previously, and then it just kept going from there. So you've got an accessory slot here, so it might be worth it to try to get you up here. Where is that accessory slot? Yeah, this is the gate again. And Thunder and Water. Those are actually pretty good, though, having the end skills, because sometimes enemies will be weak to elements. And when they're weak to certain elements, if you put an end spell on, like yourself or your party members, then their attacks will be charged with whatever those attributes are. It even charges Saboteur and Sentinel attacks. And when I say Sentinel and Saboteur attacks, I mean their status ailments for Saboteur, or for Sentinel, it charges any counter attacks that they have, which is not a thing that we can access just yet, but it will be later. So, yeah, it's pretty good having those end skills. All right, we didn't do anything. We didn't do enough here, so let's get this to the top of its thing there. Oh, because this was the gate previously. Okay, because this is 380, 500 again. You get Thunder here, and that's about it. So, what are you getting Commando anyway? Well, these are only 145, and he gets Quake here, so I think we know what we're working on right now. Let's just top this off real quick. Not that we need Quake all that badly, but this is a quick one, so we'll just knock it out, you know. There we go. And now I think I'll work on Synergist just so we can get past this gate as well, because we're past the gate on Ravager as well. So if we get past this part, we can just move straight up into this one, which we can actually get right now in Thunder. Cool. I don't think we're going to get in fire here, though, and I think in fire would actually be pretty useful here. If I remember right, a lot of the enemies here are weak to fire, but I could be wrong about that. I mean, to be fair, I think Vanille has fire now, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. Let's go see. Did I get fire? I think I just got something similar to fire, or it wasn't Fire, that was Aurora. It might have been the previous thing. I was figuring I could look at what skills she has by just going here, but I think I can do that in the status menu instead. No, I cannot. Okay, well, anyway. Oh, and abilities. Okay, that's what we do. Yeah, she's got fire and fire, so we can just use that. And Saz obviously has fire as well, so that should help a little bit.
Here's a sight I didn't want to see.
What's that? Oh. Giant jalapeno peppers? No, they're a little more gelatinous than that.
Going or what?
We're going in a moment, Saz. I had to develop our Crystarium. Sheesh, don't rush me. Yeah, and make sure you weren't too overleveled. There you go. Remember seeing the end skills coming back in 14 and being sad that elements meant nothing even back in A Realm Reborn? As much shit as you gave the game a decade and a half or so ago, you like the visuals of the Crystarium, yeah. Yeah, and honestly, the visuals in this game have held up pretty well, all things considered. Like, I didn't expect them to hold up this well, especially on the PS3. I was like, I don't know, that might not really work all that well, you know, but it works pretty well. I think it's doing pretty good for itself. So, but yeah, the end skills being in 14, I feel like they could have been useful for something, but they're really... Elemental weaknesses is really only a thing for Blue Mage, which is like, yeah, I mean, that's nice for Blue Mage, but like, I don't know, I kind of like it to be a thing for others too. Let's see, how much would this need to get to the next one? I feel like if we go up by like 700 or 800 experience, that'll be enough. That's not enough. That's enough. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, so now we're at 5. Still got the Viper News, so we'll hold on to that because we can actually purchase this now, like I said previously. So when Vanille actually gets her weapon, we can go into Creature Comforts, which we have access to now, as I can show you here. Oh, and I guess Up in Arms has new stuff too. If you need the Den of Duelers for Saz for more magic, but he's one of the slowest casters in the game, there you go. The Edge Carbine's available now, so if you sold it, I guess you can buy it again. Power Circle, here's the Hawkeye, Pearl Wing Staff, so all the magical stuff is available now. Speaking of magic, let's see what's in Magical Moments. Ah, the Watchman's Amulet that we just got. Okay, fair enough. Oops. And in Creature Comforts. That was funny. The cartoony sound effect. Yeah, here you go. So you got Wicked Fang, Thickened Hide, Enigmatic Fluid, Sturdy Bone, and Scaled Wing. You can't currently buy the Ooze that I was just talking about, but out of all of these, the only one that's worth it is the Sturdy Bones, because they give 16 experience at base per bone, but they give 14 experience to the multiplier per bone. So if you multiply 14 times 36, that's like... What is that? 14 times 30 is 420, 490. So it'd be like 504 if I did my math correctly there, I think. But that's above the 501 experience that you need in order to get the multiplier up to times 3. So that's basically how that works. So we probably won't need to do that for a while though, because I don't want to like break the game over my knee by making the weapons too powerful. So, but just keep that in mind. If we buy Sturdy Bones, if we buy 36 of them, we can easily get the multiplier to times 3. And 36 of them cost, almost 3,000 gil. That's a chump change. That's fine. We can manage that. That's easy. So, held off on upgrading until Chapter 10, 11, once you get to Redacted and proceed to break the game in half. Yeah, that's about right. Honestly, I think a lot of people wait to upgrade their weapons until then. And I might wait to upgrade mine past level 5 until then, honestly, because I feel like that's all you need, really. You don't need to go very far in it, especially since you can't get them to tier 2 until then anyway, most of the time. I did my math right? Good. It's about time. I want to make sure I'm not losing that skill. I've taken, at this point, 2 statistics classes. I'm going to have to take a 3rd one next semester. I might as well have the math right. Here's some shit, right, about how all this whole college thing works. I'm having to take a total of 3 stats classes because it wasn't the one that I took previously didn't transfer in and count for credit for like the stats that I needed for the major that they put me in when I got it. Like I wanted to be a nutrition major. They said we want you to get a GPA baseline before you become a nutrition major. So they put me in sociology. I don't get it either, to be fair. And in the process of putting me in sociology, they said take social statistics, and I said okay, cool. So then I got into nutrition this next semester, but I have to take another stats class that fits with nutrition. It's a more generalized stats class. It's like, guys, can we not do this, please? So I'm fucking sorry. What? Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with nutrition either, to be fair. But there you go. Yeah, Sin Med will be fine. I'll just go into that and go from there. Sin Sab, I don't really think I need. I think I'd rather do Sab Rav, honestly, and do 2 of those. But that being said, we get to play as Vanille again, so now I get to use Saboteur again. Ain't that grand? I love Saboteur. It's my favorite role, in case that wasn't immediately obvious from everything I've said previously. Yeah, those jalapeno peppers are definitely jalapeno poppin'. They are not so digestible, let me tell you that much. Alright, let's go fishing first, and then we'll knock them out. Okay. I didn't get Deep Protect on him, so let's see if we can get Deep Protect. And then we'll switch to Slash and Burn. Probably should have switched earlier so I could get him dead more quickly. Saz, maybe shoot before the gauge goes all the way down. Okay, they're weak to fire. Notes, unremarkable. I love when they put that for enemies. Maybe I don't need to start on Undermine, but it's probably worth it to keep it in mind for later, you know. Okay, this is fine. They even make like a bubbling sound when they walk around. Got him. Some different ooze. Murky ooze. That's gross. The music here just makes me so happy. It just puts a smile on my face. Yes, that's what dampness is, Saz. But what if I told you that water is not wet? Would that break your brain? Tell you what's about to break these hedgehogs' brain is Vanille casting Fyra into the group of them. Oh, I'm not on the right thing. Hold on. Saz, use Blitz. There you go. See? That works better.
The old man still got it.
We need to start on that so he can blitz the shit out of everything right at the start of the fight. that was nuts, Saz. He's still got it. Now that he's got Blitz, he's still got it. Alright, let's switch that up. I'll switch this to Sin Sab. I don't think we need a Sin Sab, but I'll switch to it anyway, and then we'll switch down to Undermine if we need to later. So, but stabilizing the gauge like this, it might be easier to do just at the beginning of the fight. So.
Better than homicidal scorpion robots and mountains of trash.
At least it's a little bit easier to look at, right? Okay, this is a dead end, so... Saz, you got the right of it. Let's go to the dead... Oh my god, dead end.
This place would make a nice picnic.
If it weren't for all the gelatin, yeah, it would make a great picnic spot. Alright, let's see if the fire works this time. Here you go! Yeah, not quite. That's okay. We'll get the other guy in a sec. I guess because they're technically flans, I guess magic would probably work better against these guys than anything else, so... See if I can get D-Shell on him again. I feel like D-Shell would work pretty well here. But yeah, see how it stabilizes the gauge to do that, so... Like, it actually makes it so the gauge doesn't go down nearly as quickly when you do that, so... We shouldn't need poison against the enemies around here because they don't really have a huge... Oh, fiber news, there we go. a huge amount of HP or anything like that, but it's probably still worth it to try to get it on them just because it helps stabilize the gauge, and then the more of it that you do, the better off, the more debuffs that you get on the enemy, the better off you'll be in terms of getting the chain stabilized and keeping them staggered for longer. Plus, I mean, hey, you know, just get more debuffs on them. It means more passive damage. If you get poison and stuff on everything. Now, the hedge frogs I wouldn't bother, but like the flan, yeah, I'd probably bother. The hedge frogs are pretty easy. They die pretty quick.
No daydreaming now.
As you can see, they are also weak to fire. So just kill everything with fire in here because it works pretty effectively. I guess just use deep. Okay, I was gonna say use deep protect to try to get the gauge, but we didn't get the gauge in time, so we had to reset it. Maybe I can do it like this. There we go. Saboteur is the best role, and I will fight you in the streets if you think otherwise. No, I can't. You're correct. Saboteur is just one of those roles where it's just like it's just fun to use because you're like you stabilize the gauge, but you also get a beneficial, like, it's obviously not beneficial for the enemy, but it's highly beneficial for you to get the status ailments on the enemy, because then you can just do more damage to them, you get passive damage that can work with them, you can eventually get something that makes it so that they take more damage from elements if they're not weak to them. It's just all around a pretty solid role. Probably my favorite, personally. Matter of fact, it's not even a probably. I'm just gonna say yes, no, it is. It's my favorite role. So.
The old man still
And we're back to 5 TP, but nobody here can summon, so.
But you go blaming it on me when you wander off and get lost.
Listen, I can't get lost here. I've got a mini-map. It makes it a lot easier.
Quiet, okay? For all we know, there could be soldiers nearby.
You're worried about the soldiers when there are giant jalapenos trying to kill us? I'd be more worried about the things right in front of us, Saz. I don't think we need to switch. I think we'll have them in one. I mean, it was a preemptive strike, so I would hope we'd have them in one. Oh, almost have them in one. There you go. Have a fireball. Oh yeah, Saz gets arc fire sorta with Blitz. Yeah, his arc fire is excessively strong. Especially if the enemies are large. Like the Flandragors are pretty large, but they're not like wide. If the enemies are wide and you use Blitz on them, it's pretty damn effective. It can even be better than him basically using 2 of his regular physical attacks in some cases, or even 4. If he's using 2 Blitzes, it can be better than 4 of his physical attacks in some cases. Kind of nuts, actually. Yeah, see, this is what I get for not having 4 ATB bars. Alright, get these shell on him. Looks like he's immune to D-Protect, but not to D-Shell and to poison, so just keep that in mind. Now, as you can see, Saboteur does not stabilize the gauge as much as Commando does, but it still stabilizes it enough to the point where you can often, especially when there are 3 party members available to use, you can often use like a Rav Sab Sab in order to get a whole bunch of status ailments on the enemy, and that stabilizes the gauge enough to just let the Ravager go to work, so. Again, every time I get into the music, it just puts a smile on my face. There's Vanille's weapon, though, the Belladonna Wand. It's generally speaking considered one of her better ones, despite the fact that it has lower stats than most of them, and the reason is the passive ability on it. Improved debuffing. It increases the likelihood that her status ailments on Saboteur will stick, and obviously, since I like playing Saboteur, you know for a fact that that's the one I'm going to use. It's a bit of a drop in her magic at the moment, and a bit of an increase in strength, which doesn't help her because she doesn't have the attack command, but it's still pretty good, all things considered. It also allows you to synthesize, if you wear the correct accessory with it, it lets you synthesize the buff duration passive ability, which increases the duration of buffs on, I forget if it's just her or if it's the whole party by a certain percentage. We're going to find out because the Watchman's Amulet that I have actually synthesizes that with the Belladonna wand. So when she gets her next accessory slot, we're going to put it on and find out. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, the Belladonna wand, my love. My life. The best of the best. It's just overall a really solid pick for Vanille. It just works so well for her. So, alright, so if I want to upgrade that to level 5, now here's the problem with the Belladonna wand, is it takes more experience to upgrade than most of the other weapons, that you have access to at the moment. It only goes up to level 21, if I remember correctly. That's its star level is 21, rather than 26 where everything else is. So, I wonder if I just upgrade it to 4. I don't know. Well, let's do a little bit of this first. Use this other fluid that we don't need. See where we get to. Okay, 1.75 times. That's not bad. And then use the rest of the passive detectors. Okay, it's at level 3 now, so that's not terrible. We're only at a 1.25 times bonus now, though, so that doesn't really help us. I suppose this will, though. Yeah, you know, I can live with level 4, actually. We're almost out of stuff now anyway, so I'm going to have to stop somewhere. I can live with level 4 for now. Power Circle is going to take a little bit of doing to get up there, but hey, by then maybe we'll have access to better components so we can work our way through there. And if we don't, we can always buy some because the garage that we have access to has the synthetic components, so... Is it break time? It would be if I didn't start a little bit late, so we'll go to the next save point and then we'll call it a day. Look, even if it weren't, I am a debuff addict, yeah, and that's fair, honestly. Like, if it's the playstyle you enjoy, then I'll be damned if I don't use it, right? So, just 2 strength again. What's the point? Just put it all in their commando, because that's the only place she's going to get any strike abilities. Like, genuinely, I want to know that. Does strength do something that I just don't know about? Because, like, I gotta imagine it does, considering Hope and Vanille get it, even though they don't get any of the strike abilities, so they have no use for their strength stat until, like, way later in the game when they actually can get commando and use the attack command. But I don't know, whatever. I can get the next one, right? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, well, if I can't, I'm gonna have that one just hanging there for a minute. What am I going to give you for your other accessory? Oh, I'll probably give you the Ember Ring, actually, because it won't come in handy in this chapter, but it will come in handy in the next time we see Vanille and Saz, so. Alright, so let's get to the next save point, see how much stuff we have to kill along the way, and then we'll call it a day. Excuse me. Moving at a good clip, though. Chapter 6 is another one that's somewhat shorter. It'll probably only take about another hour and a half to beat next time. Look at these happy little guys. Just waving their arms and flailing around like they just don't care. What kind of a monster am I to walk up on these guys and viciously murder them for dancing to the music of the sunlit waterscape? I can't believe I'm doing this. Well, that wasn't very nice of you. Interrupt me while you're at it. Yeah, that's the problem with Vanille's casting, is that it's really the only thing she's got, but every time she casts and retargets, she has to do that little step thing that she does where she, like, switches the lead foot and then pulls her hand back and casts. And that just... Oh, another Aegis-Ult, nice. That just sort of hampers her casting for a while. She's really strong on the casting, to be fair, but it's... She's slower at it than most other characters as a result of that hand pull. How many of these Flans am I going to fight in this one battle? Just 2, it looks like. You know what else I like? Is I like the fact that there's different sound effects for each weapon, for each character. That's just a nice touch, I think. Oh good, Vanille's not staggering. Lightning, take notes! I mean, I suppose they're made of gelatin, so they wouldn't stagger you nearly as much, but, you know. Alright, quickly before we lose the gauge, there we go. Nice and quick stagger, too. Love it, love it, love it. I'll just do 2 poisons. And Saz can take care of the rest. Looking it up, you have no friggin' idea if strength does anything for Hope and Vanille, outside of proving you got more numbers, so your target time goes down. Yeah, and that's the problem, isn't it? Because by forcing your stats up, it makes your target time go down, which makes it harder to get 5 stars for something they aren't even using. Who designed this shit? Why is it done? Like, at the very least, like, here's the thing, right? I'll bitch about 13-2 all day and night, but they increased the combat of that game a lot more because they balanced a lot of the stupid shit that they did in this game. Like, everybody uses their strength and magic stats in 13-2, which means that you never end up in a situation like this where it's like, what do I do with this, you know? I should probably just one Fire Red there, since they're both staggered. Back to you, and we'll undermine you. And since I'm in control of the Saboteur now, I can actually just stick my buffs on only one guy, rather than throwing them around the entire enemy team and just hoping for the best. So, I guess I'll slash and burn. Oh good, he stabilized the gauge for me a little bit. Nice. Thanks, Saz. Maybe get a ruin in there before we lose it, though. Thank you. Do I need D-Shell at this point? No, probably not. I'll just switch to the other slash and burn. Oh man, this is where poison would have come in handy. I think the ultimate weapons in this game are interesting. The problem is getting them. Yeah. We won't be getting any tier 3 weapons in this game. It's a lot of work to get them, unfortunately, and I just don't have the patience for it. I mean, if I was doing post-game stuff, I probably would have the patience for it, to be fair, but I'm not planning on doing much post-game stuff. Again, I don't know how many missions I'm actually going to do in the game. I know I'm going to do at least the first, like, there's like 64 missions, which are considered like the side quests of the game. Basically, I know I'm going to do at least the first 15 because you need to do like the first 15 in order to get access to all of the travel functionality later in the game. Because not the entire game is going to be just us going from one point A to point B. There will be points where the game will open up a little bit. Yeah, in order to unlock all the travel features, we need to do at least the first 15 missions. But we'll talk about that when we get there. And we'll also try to figure out how many of them we're actually going to do. Saz, how did you get all the way over here? Oops, well, ran a little too late there. The memories are coming back, and they're all bad. Yeah, the missions, you know. There are pretty good farming methods now, though, if you want to do a lot of the post-game stuff. And I think that's honestly why a lot of the post-game stuff in most Final Fantasies just doesn't really trip my trigger, because a lot of it is grind-heavy. Like, I can handle certain post-game stuff in Final Fantasy games, but when I say certain, I basically only mean Final Fantasies 1 and 2. And even then, like, Final Fantasy 1 still grates the hell out of me with its post-game stuff. Final Fantasy II's post-game stuff I can actually handle because, well, they do something with that they don't really do in the other ones very much. So, I feel like a monster every time I have to disrupt their little dance. And they're standing too far apart for me to be fire-ing them, unfortunately. Saz, use Blitz. It will work. Oh, hang on, Fyra. Will work much better. And do it again. They're all out of the way now. See? Blitz is good. Never doubt Blitz. It is one of the strongest moves in this game with Saz. I mean, it's one of the strongest with other people, too, but Saz takes it to a whole nother level. So. You took the alternate path. Saz took the main one. Oh, man, grinding out the ultimate weapons. You had 5 total ones per character. Yeah, oof. I couldn't do all that. That's, like, a lot. But yeah, I guess that would make sense as to how Saz got up there for me. Of course, he's pretty good. He teleports right back to me. So, we got a doctor's code there. I don't think we take control of Saz at all in this chapter. I would say otherwise we could use that as an accessory here, because then we could have, when he has 2, it'll help, but we don't have access to that. Wow. I know that backdrop is just a JPEG, but honestly, looking at it, you could fool me.
Tell me about yourself.
Huh?
Any family?
I have a little boy.
I was going to say, she's asking the right question.
Oh, so you're married?
I was, yeah.
When you say
We gotta
was.
get you home. Your son needs you.
Well, about that,
Come on, we'll make it.
I don't think that's what he's sulking about, Vanille.
It's too late.
Is it the Lassie thing?
How'd you...
You might be a Lassie, but you're still a daddy.
You're right.
So, what's his name?
You gonna tell her, or are you gonna let the flashback tell her? You're gonna let the flashback tell her, because as it turns out, Saz was also present in Bodom on day 11. What a shock. There's his kid. It's Lil Michael Jackson. Like, genuinely, if that's not what they modeled Daj after, I'd be shocked. He's a little more pudgy in the face than Lil Michael Jackson, though.
Well, you're never happy.
Oh my god.
You never smile.
And you're drinking that cola.
You cheer up. You be like your old self again.
Oh, he still has the Chickabo.
How about that? Your wish came true.
Yeah.
I think the Chickabo is Daj's. I think he got him for him, or he, like, inherited him or something.
It's my turn to wish.
What for, Dad?
That's my little secret.
And who's this lady? Why do I get the feeling she is not your wife?
Saz?
Huh?
You alright?
Upside down. I know we are in Discord, but still, that backdrop is beautiful. Yeah, again, I know it's a JPEG, but, like, you could fool me.
Come on, Pops. You've really got to keep it together, okay? Now, let's go.
Now I got kids looking out for me.
Sometimes you gotta learn from them, Saz. Part of being a dad is learning from your kids directly. It's not always just gonna be you teaching them. Sometimes they teach you. Avoiding encounters. A powerful scale beast awaits you ahead. It could be a difficult fight for only 2 people. However, this enemy is slow on its feet, meaning you can easily avoid this encounter if you so desire. You will face many harrowing challenges as you press on. When you feel your enemies may be too strong, avoid them. But will we choose to avoid the scale beasts ahead of us in the Sunleth waterscape? And did Lightning and Hope make it to Palampolum without getting arrested by the military?
Look at that view.
Find out on the next episode of Final Fantasy XIII, the Stream Edition,
Someone who'd love to be seeing all of this.
which will be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, it's a JPEG, but you could have fooled me. Difficult? What? Murder it? I mean, you're right. Let me at least keep people in suspense for a little longer. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. And I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully this time I won't be 8 minutes late. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. And I'll probably do the Crystarium stuff if I remember to do it at the beginning of the next one. If not, we'll just do it after I get murdered by the Scale Beasts a couple of times.